game to look forward to.
Leeds have already won a corner. Tyler Roberts hitting the ball against Mads Andersen, and so Leeds will have a corner over on that far side where the east stand meets the Norman Hunter stand. Jack Harrison, one of those players who has his hair tied up in a little top notch, will take the corner into the near post, looking for Berardi, who made a strong run to that near post, but it was cleared away by Ludovic for Barnsley. But Harrison retrieves it and finds Ben White in this slightly different position. It's not an unfamiliar position to Ben White. He's played there before in Calvin Phillips' absence, and he has it again in the centre circle as Leeds work it back to the halfway line, and will start again with their captain Liam Cooper.
I think the good thing about Ben White, Dance, is he's a footballing centre half, if you like, comfortable in possession, doesn't look out of place in that sitting midfield position. So Leeds will be relying on him to play well tonight in the absence of Phillips.
Barnsley win it back for the first time tonight. Jordan Williams works it up to Cauley Woodrow inside the centre circle. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment. The ball's worked back to Mads Andersen. Andersen will just clip the ball up to the halfway line, looking for Jacob Brown to get a touch. Headed on by Alex Mowat, the captain of Barnsley and former Leeds man. It's running through the team, so Meslier is the Leeds goalkeeper. Ayling, Berardi, Cooper and Dallas in the back four. White in front of that back four, and then Costa, Roberts, Click and Harrison behind Bamford. Walton is the keeper for Barnsley. Ludovic, Solbauer, Anderson and Williams in the back four. Halme, Mowat and Styles in midfield, and then Woodrow, Brown and Chaplin up front. Is it a 4-3-3, Neil Redfern, for Barnsley?
Yeah, it is. Looks like Halmer, who's sat at the base of it, with Mowat reverting back into a more forward-thinking position in midfield, and you've got your three up top. I think that from Barnsley's point of view, I think they've got to try and get hold of the ball if they can. If they can have a good spell of possession in these opening exchanges, it'll give them that little bit of confidence to go on in this game.
0-0 then on TalkSport 2. 3 minutes played at Ellen Road in bright sunshine. The overhang of the John Charles main stand that we're sitting in creating a bit of shade down this near side of the pitch. Gerhard Struber, very smart casual, jeans and white trainers and a pullover.
That's a bit too casual, isn't it?
You wouldn't get in many nightclubs wearing that, would you?
Not in,
I say smart casual, but that's because my definition of smart casual is very different to everybody else's. Bielsa, of course, in his tracksuit, sat on his upturned bucket, and Leeds United send the ball into the Barnsley half. But it's won back calmly by Mads Andersen, flicked downfield by Alex Mowat, straight onto the head of Luke Ayling, who heads it straight out of play. Barnsley haven't won here since 2011. Ricardo Vazte and Craig Davis, the goal scorers for the Tykes that day. They did a double that year as well over Leeds United, won 4-1 at Oakwell a month later in that campaign. Most of the games between these two have been played at this second tier level in English football. Barnsley have given themselves a throw. 4 minutes gone, 0-0 on TalkSport 2. It's midway point of the Leeds half. Down the Barnsley left, Callum Styles looking for Jacob Brown, who can protect the ball at the edge of the area, being watched by Berardi. Plays it into Connor Chaplin, who just couldn't turn away from his man. White tries to clear, hits it against his man, and it will go out of play for a throw to Leeds United just next to the Barnsley technical area. 0-0.
Yeah, they've started quite well here, Barnsley. They're really up against Leeds. They're definitely not going to sit back and die thinking about this. They're really going for Leeds, and they've had some good little passages of play as well.
It's a high press as well from Barnsley when Leeds have the ball, as just shown by Meslier clearing with Woodrow closing him down. Now here's Alex Mowat, former Leeds man. More on him in a moment. He's trying to turn away from Matthias Click. Sends the ball back to Solbauer on halfway for the Tykes. Turn away infield by Chaplin, didn't come off for him. And away comes Tyler Roberts for Leeds, and a lovely diagonal ball out to the left-hand side, but Click couldn't quite keep it in. The idea from Tyler Roberts was terrific, but it just swirled away too far from the Polish midfielder for Leeds. And Barnsley have a throw on the far side. 5 gone, 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, it's a great little switch of play by Tyler Roberts, to be fair, Dance. And I think, to be honest with you, that's where Barnsley's going to be a little bit vulnerable. You know, they're nice and compact in midfield with that three and your three up front, and it's quite narrow, giving them a chance to get up against Leeds. But fullbacks look really isolated at times when the ball changes hands.
Two very recent Leeds players in the lineup for Barnsley. in Halmer and Mowat, and if those two can't get themselves motivated for a game like today, when can they get motivated for a game? But all the Barnsley players look up for it in these opening exchanges. But Leeds have possession inside their own half with Stuart Dallas, who's playing on the right hand side for the moment. Ayling is actually playing at centre half, and Leeds are lining up with the back four from right to left of Dallas, Berardi, Ayling and Cooper. So Cooper's playing left back at the moment, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that whether that's to protect Berardi a little bit. I don't know. I mean, at least they change shape and they shift in and out of position anyway. I think it's something that Bielsa does really well. But they're so comfortable in possession. You know, they work the ball across the pitch now, and it's it's not embarrassing the players whatsoever.
But Barnsley are pressing again. The ball goes back to Meslier under pressure from Woodrow. He finds Click with a ball drilled downfield. Ben White knocks it back for Berardi. Now it goes up to halfway and Click. All players, of course, wearing black armbands in memory of Jack Charlton OBE. Now a diagonal ball sent forward, looking for Harrison, but it's too long and too straight, and goes straight through to the Barnsley goalkeeper, Jack Walton, the Academy Player of the Year 5 years ago at Barnsley, and he's been the first choice for the Tykes since the restart, keeping Bradley Collins out. Clipped forward by Solbauer, just into the Leeds half, but chested down by Ayling, kept it away from Chaplin, played it through Alex Mowat, but Chaplin goes in for a strong challenge with Ben White. It still breaks for Leeds. Dallas finds Costa down this near side, the right for Leeds United, and then Dallas finds Matthias Click, who lost the ball in field. Good strong header from Solbauer to get it clear for Barnsley, and then Chaplin just lofts it into the Leeds half, asking Jacob Brown to climb with Cooper, but it's tidied up. Now Cooper's back at centre half, and the ball's back with Meslier, who's kept his place in the Leeds goal despite Kiko Casilla having served his 8-match suspension. Neil Redfern, there was talk, it's 0-0 by the way, 8 minutes gone, there was talk that Kiko Casilla could have been drafted straight back in. That would have been unfair on Meslier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The young kid's done really, really well in goal. To be honest with you, if I'm honest, I think Casilla's looked a little bit iffy in games I've seen him. He's not covered himself in glory at times. He's made 1 or 2 mistakes, and I think the young lad's got the shirt.
Jordan Williams for Barnsley looks for Chaplin with the ball down the inside left channel, but that goes far too far ahead of him. 2 bounces and behind for a goal kick. Leeds have won 5 out of their last 6 here at Ellen Road, and their only goal that they conceded was during a game we brought you here on TalkSport 2 when Harry Cornick scored Luton's opener in that game, in what turned out to be the only game where Leeds dropped points in that 6-game run here. 1-1 was the final score, 0-0 the current score now. Ayling playing at centre half then for the moment for Leeds United. We'll see how much that shifts. Breaks in the centre circle of Apo Halme, the former Leeds man, trying to loft it down the left hand side, but again that's an overhit ball by the Barnsley midfield, looking to release Connor Chaplin down the left hand side. Halme, who joined from Leeds for an undisclosed fee, made 5 appearances for Marcelo Bielsa, scored 4 times in this debut season for Barnsley. Hasn't scored though since the game at Luton Town, but not every Leeds player that comes through the academy stays at the club. Neil Redfern, you've been there, you've had to let players go from the academy when you were in charge here.
Yeah, well, we sold a lot, you know, that's gone on to bigger things. I just look at Almer here. What he gives Barnes is a real physical presence in midfield, but you know the flip side of that is, you know, that just an overhit pass earlier on. But
he's not a natural midfielder then.
No, he's not. He was a centre half playing in midfield basically. But he does give you that base, if you like, for Barnsley to go and press. I think Barnsley have been excellent in these opening.
Well, Callum Stiles has just won the ball back from Stuart Dallas, and Woodrow slips the ball into Brown inside the area, angles tight, puts it across the face of goal, and nobody to touch it home. I don't know whether Jacob Brown was going for goal down the left hand side inside the 6-yard box, but the ball just went across the face of Meslier's goal and out for a throw in the end that will be Barnsley's. That's the best chance of the game, and it's gone to the visitors, 0-0.
Yeah, great bit of play by Brown, to be fair, and he's unlucky. He keeps his composure brilliantly in the box, draws the goalkeeper out. The only trouble is he's really tight to the byline. He tries to square that ball across and it runs out the other side, but Barnsley are really in the ascendancy. Started brilliant, Barnsley.
He's got it again, Brown. Right-hand side, hits an early crossing. Headed up and out by Luke Ayling. Drops for Halmet, who's trying to fight for possession with Roberts, and fighting too much, says referee Gillett. And so it'll be a free kick to Leeds United. We've played nearly 11 minutes on TalkSport 2. EFL Live from Ellen Road. Leeds United knowing that they need just 4 more precious points to secure a route back. They can almost taste the land of milk and honey that is the Premier League, but they're not quite there yet. And Barnsley, well, they're not spoiling the game, they're playing a game here against Leeds United.
Yeah, they've been the better side. I'm just looking at Leeds now. We talked about the changes, obviously, that were enforced with Phillips, so we know Ben White's gone into midfield, but obviously Berardi's coming in. We think he's just going to take White's place. He hasn't. Ayling's moved, so that's another change, and Berardi's gone into right back. So, you know, the old adage is don't change a winning side. You look a little bit disrupted at this moment, Leeds, and
overcomplication,
yeah,
you could say.
Barnsley are in the ascendancy.
Jacob Brown in centre of the Leeds half, lovely ball into the box. The run was made by Ludovic coming forward from right back, but Meslier came out and was strong and was calm and collected, the goalkeeper for Leeds. And Ayling will hit a first-time ball downfield, flicked on by Click. Bamford's giving chase, trying to get ahead of Jordan Williams in the inside right channel. Costa ahead of him, but Jordan Williams wins the physical battle with Bamford. He's back in his own defensive third and has to clear downfield, chested down by Ludovic. And then Woodrow just hacks down Ben White, trying to win the ball. It wasn't that cynical a challenge. He was trying to slide along the floor and win the ball, but he caught the player instead. Free kick quickly taken by Leeds. 12 gone, 0-0. Harrison puts the ball through the legs of Ludwig. Down the left-hand side of the area, the cross comes in, and it's put behind by Anderson for Leeds United's second corner of the game, 0-0.
Yeah, great bit of play by Jack Harrison. Goes past his man with ease, to be fair, and keeps his composure, pulls a good ball back, and it's really well defended by Anderson at the near post.
And Harrison will take the resulting corner where the east stand meets the Norman Hunter south stand, away to our right. Left-footed outswinger from Harrison, headed up in the air by Mads Anderson. Keeper should punch this, does it? Yeah, he does. Gets 2 fists to it, does Walton for Barnsley. Gets it outside the box, but it's picked up right wing by Helder Costa for Leeds. 2 Barnsley players with him, and Costa hits a heavy touch. Jacob Brown put him off, and it just went over the dead ball line. Barnsley have themselves a goal kick. It's 0-0 here with 13 minutes gone.
Yeah, interesting on Leeds' set plays now, Dance. Obviously, Calvin Phillips took the vast majority of those. And it seems like it's Jack Harrison now who's got the responsibility.
Don't forget, more live football to come. Neil Redfern's the busiest man in show business, because he's you got games for the next 4 days, haven't you?
I wish I were playing.
You make me look idle. Off to Huddersfield tomorrow night, aren't you, for Huddersfield West Brom, our live commentary for EFL Live for your Friday evening entertainment on TalkSport 2. Oh, here's Tyler Roberts inside the area, gets down the left-hand side. What an important foot-in from Mads Anderson, because Roberts was trying to square it for Bamford, unmarked, 8 yards out, but Mads Anderson just stuck out a right leg and deflected it behind for another Leeds corner, 0-0.
That's a brilliant challenge, Dance, because he's almost in there, to be fair, Tyler Roberts, and he's looking to square the ball to Bamford, but he comes from nowhere. Mads Anderson, what a tackle.
So it is another corner to Leeds on that far side. Left-footed outswinger again from Jack Harrison. This one's deeper to the far post. In fact, it's too deep for everybody in either white or red shirts, and it just drifts out of play on this near side for a Barnsley throw. And a waste there from a corner kick for Leeds United. Everybody went near post, the ball went far.
Yeah, it was a little bit big, wasn't it? I don't think John Charles would have headed that in, it was that big.
You could have had 3 John Charles stood on each other's shoulders and they would have got to it. 14 and a half gone on TalkSport 2. We're sat in the John Charles main stand here, Neil Redfern and I. Ian Danter here on TalkSport 2. And Barnsley have a goal kick, and Anderson is standing inside the 6-yard box just next to his goalkeeper Walton. Leeds are pressing high. Costa and Bamford are lurking just outside the 18-yard line. It goes long downfield, looking for Callum Stiles down the left for Barnsley. Fighting for possession with Stuart Dallas. Managed to get the ball in field. It was picked up by Click, but lost almost immediately by the Leeds midfielder. And it's back with Apo Halmet. Takes too heavy a touch. And then there was a foul by Halmet as Leeds tried to launch a quick counter-attack. And Leeds will have the free kick inside their own half.
Yeah, I think Gerhard Strube will be the happy of the 2 managers so far. Dance, to be honest with you, I think they've started really well, Barnsley.
Well, he's
really
hands on hips down beneath us. The old adage, you could fit a roll of lino under each arm. He's been like that since the get-go. Bielsa sat on his favourite little upturned bucket. I know it's not a bucket, but it just looks like one. It's got a cushion on it though these days. I'm not sure it always had a cushion. Long ball downfield is headed away for Barnsley by Anderson. Halmet helps it into midfield for Alex Mowat. He guides it down calmly for the left back Jordan Williams. Williams tries to send the ball forward. It was intercepted briefly by Dallas, but then the ball's launched back into the Leeds half, and Luke Ayling will collect. Now Cooper's playing at centre half and Berardi's gone to right back.
Yeah, I think that's the intention from the beginning. Nance, to be honest with you, it's Ayling that's playing alongside Cooper at the back. Just say that, it's two changes perhaps when only one was needed.
Now Ayling's giving chase as the ball sent down the Barnsley left. Works the ball back to Meslier. Rolls his foot on the ball and a very calm pass out to Liam Cooper. You could hear the applause from all the ancillary staff down beneath us, who really appreciated the calmness with which Meslier released that pass. But here comes Callum Styles for Barnsley, darting into the Leeds half. Woodrow tries an effort from fully 30 yards out and gets it wrong and holds his hand up to Connor Chaplin, but maybe it was worth a dig from that distance with Meslier slightly off his line, 0-0.
Yeah, just needed better contact, to be fair. Corley Woodrow, he's capable of scoring from that sort of distance, but it's a great build-up play by Styles, to be fair. He's looked a real handful on this left-hand side.
He has, Callum Styles. Just 20 years of age, just came from Burnley. He was released from Turf Moor when he was 16 and had a couple of years at Bury before he came to Barnsley. He hasn't scored yet for the Tykes, but he's looked very, very busy on this left-hand side for the South Yorkshire club. But it's the West Yorkshire club in possession. Leeds have it with Stuart Dallas. Dallas down the right-hand side looking for Click. And now there's another shift and Dallas has gone back to... I'm confused though, it just switches every minute. This Leeds back four. It's Dallas again at right back with Berardi and Ayling as centre halves. Take it as read, folks. They're the four at the back, but they could play in any position at any moment. Here's the left back, Liam Cooper, the captain. Hits a diagonal ball up to the edge of the area, looking for Bamford. Cleared by Anderson, only as far as Tyler Roberts. Back into Bamford, tries to turn and hit it goalwards from the edge of the area, but he was being put under too much pressure by Mads Anderson, and when he did release the shot on the turn, it just dribbled through to Jack Walton, 0-0. There's an update, time for an update from the cricket, the second test at Old Trafford. TalkSport 2's Guy Swindles.
England have moved on to 127 for 3. Good news too for Dom Sibley, his second successive 50 in this series. He's 54 not out, Stokes 24 not out, 127 for 3.
Thank you, Guy. Plenty of other football going on in the Premier League with a couple of 5 o'clock kickoffs. 6 o'clock kickoffs rather. We'll keep you updated with those as they progress during the course of the second half here, before we bring you some golf at 7 o'clock on TalkSport 2. Here's Click inside the area for Leeds United, looking to break the deadlock across the face of goal just ahead of Bamford. Harrison comes in at the far side, looks for Bamford again at the corner of the 6-yard box, and this time it was Solbauer who put an important foot in to get it half clear. Robert sends it back into the area, but Walton comes out and sprawls over the ball to hold on to it. Stays 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, just looking at Tyler Roberts dancing. That's twice Bamford's turned him down now, in a good position when Bamford's got his back to goal. Really, he's trying to turn into trouble. But Tyler Roberts is there in front of him, 5 yards away. If he just rolls the ball back to him, it's a great shooting opportunity. But Bamford turns him down.
Leeds 0, Barnsley 0 on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, with nearly 20 minutes gone here at Ellen Road. And Leeds have the ball inside their own half with Harrison. Tries to flick the ball up to halfway, but Killian Ludovic does really well to win it back, and he's won the foul as well for Barnsley, as Harrison just wrestled him to the floor. Remember, it's Everton Villa that kicks off at 6, and Leicester Sheffield United as well. I'll keep you in touch with first half goal updates from those games, and then later on Palace, Man United and Southampton Brighton are the other Premier League fixtures today. But it's all about the EFL here on TalkSport 2. Top against bottom. Barnsley have the free kick, rolled into the right hand side of the area for Chaplin, who's offside. He just moved too quickly. See the routine from Alex Mowat, was trying to release Chaplin down the right hand side of the box, but he just went too early. Free kick, Leeds 0-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was, Dance, to be honest. I'd have to see that again, because he timed his run so well, Connor Chaplin. It's a great spot by Mowat. And
one off the training ground there, you might say.
Yeah, they're half asleep there, Leeds.
Ayling sends the ball up to halfway. Roberts Tries to play a 1-2 and get down the right-hand side. He was caught by Ludwig. So it'll be a free kick to Leeds. Left-hand side, almost at the midway point of the Barnsley half. And it will be Jack Harrison to take it. And the defenders have come up from the back. I hesitate to say centre-halves because that could mean any one of them. But they're all there. Ayling and Berardi just at the edge of the D. Cooper a bit further forward. Dallas is actually holding back towards the halfway line. Harrison to take it. Swings it into the area for Leeds United. Headed up and out. Well, actually, it was headed by Halmer against his teammate Anderson and just ricocheted fortuitously for Barnsley. Back to the keeper Walton, 0-0.
Yeah, they were fortunate there, Barnsley. I'll tell you what, since they've changed the set players, obviously Calvin Phillips is out and Jack Harrison's in. He's got really good delivery in Jack Harrison. 2 or 3 balls he's put in there now with real quality.
Jacob Brown goes up for the header on halfway for Barnsley. 1 back by Leeds United. 0-0 if you're just tuning into TalkSport 2. Bit of a loose pass for Leeds, but Ben White atones for the error and just puts his foot through it and lumps it downfield. But Barnsley have it back with Mads Anderson. Good ball down the left-hand side, and that was well intercepted by Berardi. Otherwise, Connor Chaplin was away. In the end, it's a throw to the Tykes, right in front of the technical area that Gerhard Struber is patrolling for his team. Ball sent forward for Leeds United, but 1 back by Barnsley in their red shirts. And then Costa does really well to dispossess Jordan Williams, and in slides Alex Mowat, the former Leeds man, to put it out of play. Good strong challenge from the Barnsley captain. Dallas runs into Mowat again. Over 13 years at Leeds United, Alex Mowat, let's not forget. And about 125 appearances before he moved to Barnsley in January of 2017. Now here's Dallas, right-hand side, level with the edge of the Barnsley penalty area. 0-0 on TalkSport 2, midway point of the first half. Helder Costa looks for Click, gives it back to Costa, who's made a lovely run into the area, trying to make room for a shot. The shot comes in, Bamford takes a touch, instinctive save by the keeper, but Bamford was offside anyway. The flag goes up to deny him, but Jack Walton wasn't to know that. Bamford right in front of him, trying to flick it goalwards, and Walton just stuck up a glove and kept it out as a drinks break comes midway through the first half, and it's still 0-0 on TalkSport 2, Neil Redford.
Yeah, that was a great bit of play by Helder Costa. Danced round his full-back, got right into the box, pulled a great little, well, it was a half shot, half pass to Bamford, and he's got his back to goal again. He's almost got to try and get himself half on if he can to receive, and keeper makes a fantastic save because that's so close in, that could just drop in the net, and Jack Walton manages to get a good strong hand on that and clear the danger.
So 0-0 here on TalkSport 2 as the players take on fluids and take on words from their manager. Just a reminder what live football we've got coming up across the network. Huddersfield West Brom is live tomorrow night. EFL Live starts at 5 p.m. with Dan Windle, your host. Huddersfield West Brom, and then West Ham Watford is the TalkSport offering from 7:30 on Friday night. Stoke City Brentford Saturday lunchtime. Is that the game you're at as well? No, you're at Borough on Saturday, aren't you?
Borough Saturday, yeah.
For Matchday Live on TalkSport. But TalkSport 2 brings you back-to-back championship games. Stoke Brentford is a 12:30 kick-off from the Bet365. And then I'm at Fulham Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday for the 3 o'clock kick-off at Craven Cottage. Norwich Burnley at 5, Saturday tea time on TalkSport. And don't forget the FA Cup semi-finals. Arsenal, Manchester City, TalkSport Saturday evening from 7:15, and we will have Leeds' next game for you as well, which is Sunday lunchtime at Derby County, where that could be the day that the title, or promotion at least, is confirmed. Break is done, and we will restart on TalkSport 2 at 0-0 with a Barnsley free kick for that offside decision. 25 minutes played. Jack Walton thumps the ball downfield. Jacob Brown goes up for the header, but he's beaten to it by Liam Cooper. Bamford heads it back into his own half looking for Click, but Click's header returned back into the half. He's picked off by Barnsley, but Jacob Brown runs into Ben White. But again, Barnsley win it back. Woodrow trying to release it down the right hand side for Ludwig, and Cooper very calmly clears away for the home side. Harrison inside his own half looks for Ben White. Ayling at the edge of his own penalty area. He hits a diagonal ball intended for Dallas on this near side, but overhit, and that is a factor, Neil Redfern, in Barnsley's pressing game at 0-0.
Yeah, they've got to take credit for that, Barnsley. They've flustered Leeds a little bit here. They don't look the usual selves in possession. Play's breaking down a lot, and can't help feeling though that they need to try and fashion a chance while the going's good for Barnsley.
Here's Alex Mowat, finds Jacob Brown, midway point of the Barnsley half. He tried to send it out left for Callum Stiles, but it was overhit. Just goes out of play for a Leeds throw. There's a few agitated voices down beneath us from those who represent the Leeds substitutes and coaching staff. As Barnsley attack again down the left-hand side with Callum Stiles, faced up by Stuart Dallas, cuts infield to the left-hand corner of the area, still going Callum Stiles, thinks about a shot, checks onto his left, tries to drive, and it's blocked behind for a corner kick by Gaetano Berardi, and the Tykes have their first corner of the game at 0-0.
Yeah, been impressive, Callum Stiles, really taking the game to Gaetano Berardi at right back. Doesn't really know whether to show him inside or outside. Young lad's comfortable going both ways and does ever so well there to force the corner.
And we talk a lot about Leeds' need for points, but don't forget what Barnsley need here. Bottom of the table at the start of play. Here comes the corner from Stiles. Brilliant delivery, it's headed wide by Anderson, diving in 6 yards out. He got ahead of his man Cooper, but Mads Anderson just couldn't direct the header the right side of the post for Barnsley. It's a goal kick to Leeds and another escape for Bielsa's men.
Yeah, should have scored. It's a great chance. It's a great ball in, to be fair, by Stiles. Been outstanding in these opening exchanges. Drives it in and he loses his man there, Anderson. It's a clear header at goal. Yes, it's a diving header, he's at full stretch, but it's got to hit the target from there.
Really drilled that corner in, inviting the diving header, and Anderson was fully committed, went for it. But here's Bamford at the other end. He's got ahead of Anderson, tries to square it across the penalty area. Oh, it's touched into his own net for an own goal by Solbauer. Patrick Bamford takes the acclaim, and Leeds United, having very nearly gone behind at one end, go up the other end, and Bamford's industry creates the opener. An own goal in the end, but Leeds United won't care. That's another step closer to automatic promotion. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0.
Well, it looked like an own goal, and when you look out, when you're down there, these things go against you. But superb play by Bamford, I have to say, because he persevered, he got down the side. Initially, his first cross was blocked, kept at it, got another angle, whipped the ball across, and it put the defence under so much pressure they've turned the ball into their own goal.
Yeah, I think it was Michael Solbauer who put the ball into his own net from inside the 6-yard box. Bamford's run was terrific, and Anderson had made the first challenge, but Bamford didn't let the ball go out for a corner, still knew he had room to operate in, and sent it back from the dead ball line. And Barnsley are behind, and Leeds have that precious opener after a nervy opening quarter from the home side. Harrison just caught by Ludwig, and that will settle everybody down for those of a West Yorkshire persuasion, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, it will, and to be fair, Bamford's movement's been really good. Just a couple of times he's got caught with his back to goal, which I don't like as a centre forward. I know sometimes you have to got to pin your man, but he's got to get down the sides, and this is what he does for the goal. He gets down the sides of this Barnsley back four, and he's persevered with his cross. Initially it's blocked, but the second one's a great cross. It's right in the danger area.
Meslier with a goal kick for Leeds United. Anderson heads it down for Cauley Woodrow. Mowat wins the ball off Tyler Roberts and tries to release Jacob Brown down the left-hand side. That's a decent ball. Jacob Brown, left-hand corner of the area, just takes it away from Ayling. He's got options to his right, but back came Stuart Dallas to help out Ayling and win it back for Leeds. Barnsley have it back down the right-hand side. Ludwig with an early ball into the box. That was a decent cross, but what had happened was Cauley Woodrow and Jacob Brown had both gone to the near post. If one of them had stayed even central, they might have had a chance for Barnsley. As it is, Leeds clear. 1-0, Leeds are in front. Half an hour played. Here's Helder Costa down the right-hand side, forcing Anderson to put it behind for another corner kick to Leeds United away to our right. 1-0 they lead.
Yeah, down the sides of the two centre-backs is a real problem for Barnsley. Both full-backs like to get forward for them. Jordan Williams and Killian Ludwig. It just exposes both centre-backs down the sides, and they haven't really got the legs to cope. Another example of it there.
So, Harrison will hit a left-footed in-swinging corner for Leeds United, who are in front by a goal to nil. Out comes Walton, the keeper, to punch well for Barnsley, and Mowat will be able to bring it clear for the Tykes. Only Woodrow down the touchline for him. And Bamford was the man doing the graft down that far side of the field, not only to win the ball back, but then to win a free kick for Leeds United. 1-0.
Yeah, good play by the big centre forward, just helping his team out there. Really in a difficult position, really, with his back to play. Earns the free kick. Look a little bit more settled now, Leeds, I have to say. And they've realised now that there's a real in down the sides of the centre backs and in behind this back four for Barnsley. They can really get some good quality play down there.
Down the left-hand side for Leeds. Harrison can't quite latch onto a ball intended for it, but it comes back his way. Down the left-hand side of the box looking for Click. And that's quite intelligently done by Killian Ludwig, who hits the ball against Click to put it behind at the Norman Hunter stand end for a goal kick to Barnsley. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0, and we've been playing 31.5 minutes on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think Barnsley will take out from the fact that they've had a good start, Dance. You know, they played quite well. They've forced Leeds into some errors and played some good football themselves, but the goal's a little bit... It's very cruel, a goal, to be fair, an own goal at that.
Well, Gerhard Struber was adamant that he felt his team could cause a surprise here this afternoon. Well, they've certainly matched Leeds in certain areas of the pitch. And remember, they are bottom of the pile. Even a win today for Barnsley wouldn't take them out of the bottom three, but it would get them close to getting out of the bottom three. As it stands, they are still on 44 points. Luton and Hull are on 45, and Charlton are on 47. So a win, 43 points that they're on, Barnsley. So 46 would be as much as they could get to today. So they'd be a point behind Charlton with 2 to play. And Barnsley play Forest at home on Sunday, and Brentford away next Wednesday night, when all the fixtures are completed at the same time.
Yeah, I just think a defeat today will give them a mountain to climb, to be honest with you, Dance.
Here's Costa for Leeds inside his own half. Tries a little drag back and keeps it away from 2 Barnsley players. Sent down the right-hand side from Berardi, but touched out of play by the Barnsley centre half. It's welcome to listeners from TalkSport here at Ellen Road. Ian Dancer and Neil Redfern in West Yorkshire. 12 to half-time, and Leeds are in front by a goal to nil. But Barnsley have given a really good account of themselves in the opening half hour. But the goal came from an own goal. Patrick Bamford threaded onto a lovely ball down the right-hand side of the area. The original cross was blocked, but Bamford did really well to get to the loose ball before it went over the dead ball line, pulled it back, and Michael Solbauer put the ball into his own net. But Neil Redfern alongside me, the Tykes, despite the fact they're bottom of the table, do not look like a bottom of the table side.
No, they're not suffering in confidence, and they've took the game to Leeds, and they've had the better chances before the goal, but it's great play by Bamford to force the goal.
Mads Anderson in particular, not 30 seconds before Leeds hit the front, had a diving header from a Callum Styles corner that just went the wrong side of the post from the Barnsley point of view at the Revy end. And here's Jack Harrison down the other end for Leeds United. A cross is screwed behind for a corner by Anderson. And the centre halves from Barnsley are now starting to find that the Leeds players are trying to roll them and get in behind them, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, it's the little space in between the centre-back and the full-back down the side of the 2 centre-backs that's a problem for Barnsley. The little give and goes that's getting Harrison and Costa in, and Bamford down the side with his runs, and they're not coping with it at all.
5th corner of the half for Leeds United, where the east stand meets the Norman Hunter stand end. Harrison standing over it. Dallas and Click have stayed back. In it comes from Harrison. Delivery to the near post. Berardi will knock it back to Harrison because the delivery wasn't the best. Harrison, better delivery that time to the far post, and Styles toe pokes it away from goal line. And another dangerous moment at the back for Barnsley, but it stays Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0.
Yeah, Harrison started really well on this left-hand side. That's 2 or 3 different balls that's gone into the box with real quality. Barnsley at full tilt to defend.
They want it back now, Barnsley. Now Woodrow got some space to operate inside his own half. Lays it off for Alex Mowat. Mowat lays it off down the left-hand side for Jordan Williams. First time we've seen him coming forward. Styles turns away neatly from Ayling, finds Woodrow inside the area, just gets away from Williams. Jacob Brown, left-hand side of the box, poor cross, 2 to hit, and he just hit the first defender, but Leeds hurriedly clear, and Bielsa is screaming at his players to get into position, because here come Barnsley again. Brown, back for Callum Styles, midway point of the Leeds half, has to work it back to Mowat, steps away from Click, tries to send the ball down the Barnsley left, claims for handball against Dallas, not given, and Dallas is motoring into the Barnsley half now. Hits a diagonal ball, Tyler Roberts in acres of space, 25 yards out, can't get past Apo Halmer, who sticks a foot in, his former teammate, and just diverted it away from danger for Barnsley. 1-0 to Leeds, 36 minutes played.
Yeah, good bit of play though by Barnsley to get in there. Cut through this Leeds midfield really easily. I don't think Ben White's really took to this sitting midfield position, if I'm honest with you. He's getting caught either going, another example there, Mowatt's just glided past him, doesn't know whether to sit and hold or whether it go and engage in midfield. It's causing Leeds a bit of a problem.
And I know a number of Leeds fans who were worried about that very tactical move by Marcelo Bielsa, felt that Ben White wouldn't be an ideal candidate as somebody like Johnny Alioski or even Stuart Dallas to play that role.
Yeah, he's just getting caught between going and closing down and then actually protecting the space in behind, and Barnsley are just getting in behind him.
37 minutes played on your home of the EFL. TalkSport 2, Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. And Barnsley try and send the ball down the right hand side, but it's overhit, and Meslier can come to the edge of his penalty area and just casually brings it inside the box, waiting for Jacob Brown to get within 3 yards of him before he picks it up. Now all 4 of the Leeds coaching staff, Bielsa and his 3 lieutenants, are all going absolutely berserk down below us. Have you any idea what specifically their problem is, Neil Redfern?
Well, I think they're on about the urgency of getting out from the back. You'll have Meslier there, he's a little bit indecisive whether he goes out to White, who's dropped through the centre, or gives it Ayling or Cooper either side of him. Barnsley have got a good pressing position though. They're high up the pitch, they've got 3 up top, they're locked on in midfield, they're making it difficult for Leeds.
And it's Barnsley's throw on the halfway line. Breaks for Leeds though inside the centre circle, and Helder Costa, now a permanent Leeds capture, having been on loan originally from Wolves. Dallas somehow works the ball down the right hand side, and Costa's ahead of Jordan Williams. Bamford calling for it in the middle, but the cross hit too early from Costa, comes back his way. Click now tries to drive, and it's blocked by Anderson. Costa retrieves it again for Leeds United. Down the right hand side, level with the edge of the Barnsley box. Finds Stuart Dallas in space. Lovely teasing ball to the far post, looking for Roberts. Important header from Ludovic at right back to keep it away from Tyler Roberts, but it's still with the white shirts of Leeds United. Harrison hits it against Halmer, and now Jacob Brown turns away, tries to bring it clear for Barnsley. Back comes Berardi to tidy up for Leeds United. 1-0 they lead.
Yeah, that's what they do really well, Leeds. If the first one misses it, the next one gets in and picks it up. They work so hard for one another, closing down and recovery runs. We've seen 2 or 3 people sprinting back there to try and nullify that Barnsley counter-attack.
And back it goes to Meslier once again. He's now played 9 in a row. Played in the FA Cup against Arsenal as well, the young French under-20 goalkeeper. Anderson for Barnsley, clears onto the chest of Cauley Woodrow inside his own half. Mowat guides it down for Callum Styles on this near side. His pass intended for Woodrow is overhit, but it's smacked out of play by Ben White, so it'll be a throw for Barnsley. Woodrow tries to give it back to Styles, headed down by Dallas, and Click into the Barnsley midfield. Costa trying to win it on this near touchline. Styles there again. Looks like he's been fouled by Bamford, but neither referee nor assistant sees it that way. Instead, it's merely a throw to Leeds United, who lead by a goal to 0 on TalkSport 2 with just over 5 minutes to the break.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting game, I have to say, Dance. They've started off so well, Barnsley. Got the game plan spot on, press Leeds, forced them into errors at times. Looked a little bit disjointed in midfield, but they've got the all-important goal leads, and it's just started to settle them down.
That's the former Barnsley player and Leeds manager Neil Redfern, you can hear alongside me, Ian Dancer, here at Ellen Road, as Jack Harrison gets away from Ludovic, running along the byline into the area, pulls it back looking for Roberts, and a vital challenge this time from Apo Halme stops Leeds getting a second goal of the game. Vital stuff from the Tykes at the back. Now they're trying to clear up to halfway. And Ayling steps in front of Jacob Brown and puts it out of play and tries to stop Jordan Williams taking a quick throw by wrapping his arms around him. That's stupid.
That's a yellow card.
Well, it should be, but it's not going to be. It's just to calm down from the referee instead.
Well, he's too lenient there, the referee. It's foul play by Ayling. Knows what he's doing. It's a yellow card all day. But he's having a problem out there. Young Killian Ludwig with Harrison. He's got the beating of him. Needs a little bit of help from one of his centre-backs in the midfield.
Throw into Barnsley in front of the technical area that Gerhard Struber is still pacing up and down. Although he's been applauding his players throughout the half, he's happy with what he's seen in many regards, even though the scoreline is against the Tykes at the moment. 1-0 to Leeds if you're just tuning in to TalkSport 2. Barnsley in possession inside the Leeds half. It's worked back to Mads Andersen on halfway. Good ball threaded along the deck for Cauley Woodrow. Woodrow's only got Ludovic to his right hand side. Ludovic goes back in field for Mowat, who clips it over the top. Going to bounce into the edge of the penalty area, but all the Barnsley players on that side of the field were caught on their heels, and it just bounces through twice to Meslier. Just over 3 minutes plus added time to half time.
Yeah, they're just lacking a little bit of width, I think, Barnsley. The front three are very narrow. Woodrow, Chaplin and Brown. Be interesting to see if the fullbacks could get forward, but they don't leave the positions because they're getting isolated as well when Leeds counter-attack.
Berardi for Leeds. Hits a first-time ball down the right-hand side, intended for Dallas, but just skips off the turf and out of play on this near side for a throw to Barnsley. As I mentioned, they're at home to Forest on Sunday and then Brentford away. Leeds' last two games. Derby away, I mentioned, is a TalkSport 2 commentary Sunday lunchtime, and Charlton here next Wednesday evening is Leeds' final game of the season. Will it be their final game as a championship side after 16 years in the Football League? Because they had those 3 years, let's not forget, at League One level as well. It hasn't all been about championship since Premier League relegation back in 2004, Neil. That was 2007 to 10 when they slipped down to the third tier.
Yeah, it's been a long wait for them, but to be fair, there's light at the end of the tunnel now. I mean, the football that they've played this season has been out the top drawer, but got to get over the line.
Mowat, the former Leeds man, in the centre circle, can release Ludovic down the right hand side. A couple of Barnsley shirts going into the box. Ludovic hits the cross in early. It's cleared away by Berardi and out for a throw. Woodrow was trying to get onto the loose ball. Will be a throw to Barnsley. Midway point of the Leeds half, down the right hand side, in front of that massive cardboard cutouts in the east stand. As I mentioned, there's 15,000 in all around the stadium, and the vast majority of them are filling up that entire bottom tier of the giant east stand here at Ellen Road. Impressive from the Leeds fans. I think it's the most cardboard cutouts anywhere in the Premier League or the Football League. Throwing again to Barnsley, 5 yards from the corner flag, right hand side, and Jacob Brown fancies himself as a bit of a long throw specialist. Clearly he's gone across to take it, the number 7 for the Tykes. Anderson's gone to the near post. Solbauer, whose own goal separates the sides, is in there as well. We're into the last minute of the first half. Here's the long throw from Brown, flicked on at the near post by Helmet, but he's flicked it out of play on the full for a Leeds goal kick. 1-0 to Leeds United. Neil Redfern.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent long throw from Brown. He's just got to do a little bit better than that there, Helmet. Try and fashion that back across the goal if he can, and he just heads it out for a goal kick. Just at times, Barnsley, for as well as they've played, and they have played well, they've pressed Leeds really well, and they've got in some good positions. I just think that final ball, that little bit of quality, they've a split second longer than what they think. They're rushing things at times in wide areas, particularly Ludwig, the fullback, when he's got forward.
Latest edition of musical chairs at the back. Berardi was playing at left back a moment ago.
Yeah.
Now he's switched. I can't keep up. Here's Barnsley coming again. Down the left-hand side with Mowat. Diagonal ball into the box, but too close to the keeper, Meslier, who claims it calmly and comfortably ahead of Jacob Brown. And we're into 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half, with Leeds in front by a goal to nil. Meslier just rolls the ball out in front of him. Will clear it left-footed. Down the centre of the field, Bamford the target. Anderson gets in front of him. Woodrow trying to get the better of Click in the centre circle. It'll drop for Tyler Roberts just inside the Barnsley half. Out to the Leeds left and Jack Harrison. Harrison with an early ball into the area, almost snaked its way through to Bamford. But again, last minute challenge got the better of Patrick Bamford. A long ball downfield intended for Jacob Brown, who's comfortably dealt with by Liam Cooper.
Yeah, it's great defending by Cooper. Read the length of the pass. He's off on his bike, is Brown, but just drops his header down to his teammate Berardi.
Great skill from Ben White on halfway, and a lovely through ball from Click to find Bamford. He's left it down the left-hand side of the box for Harrison, across the face of goal, and a big clearance from Jordan Williams coming across from left-back, who had a couple of Leeds players behind him. Costa was one. Williams had to make that as the ball was sent across the face of goal, and he put it out for a Leeds throw on the far side, 1-0.
Well, I mean, he's going to have to just address this at Struber at half-time, because his full-backs are being run ragged, to be honest with you, particularly Ludwig on this right-hand side with Harrison. That must be the 8th time he's gone past him now and got a ball in the box.
But it's still only 1-0, remember, to Leeds United. We're in stoppage time at the end of the first half on TalkSport 2, home of the EFL. Remember, all the promotion candidates are in action on this station as we head into the weekend. West Brom tomorrow, Brentford and Fulham on Saturday. Throw into Barnsley in their right back position. Ludwig looks all the way down to the halfway line for Corley Woodrow, who holds it up well, turns and fires the ball in field straight onto the head of the Leeds captain Liam Cooper. Headed down, Roberts is caught by Halme, and towards the end of stoppage time, Leeds will have a chance to send the ball into the Barnsley box with a free kick here, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, and he's looked much more at home in midfield, Tyler Roberts, today. This is as good as I've seen him play from that position. Wins the free kick for his team. He's looked really assured in there. Got about the opposition out of possession, used the ball really well in possession. This is a good position for Leeds.
Well, again, let's look at Jack Harrison's delivery, because, as Neil Redfern's already said, Phillips would normally be taking these things. In it comes from Harrison, headed out by Apo Halme, and the referee decides that we're done and dusted for the first half, and Leeds are 45 minutes closer to the Premier League. They lead Barnsley by a solitary goal, scored in the first half, but not by one of their players. It was Michael Solbauer who turned the ball into his own net just before the half hour, after Patrick Bamford latched onto a ball down the right-hand side of the area. Initial cross blocked, but Bamford got to the rebound before it went over the dead ball line, pulled it back, and Solbauer, running back towards his own goal, could do nothing but touch the ball into the back of his net. But Barnsley have not been overawed by the occasion, despite being bottom of the table, and just before Leeds scored, Mads Andersen had their best chance of the half from Styles' drilled corner. His diving header went just wide. But Leeds in the ascendancy at half-time. It is Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0.
Dan, thank you. Football, it's a cruel game sometimes, isn't it? And that's what Barnsley will be feeling at this moment in time. Don't take your chances. Sometimes, often, you'll be made to suffer. And a couple of big opportunities, Neil Redfern, for Barnsley before that opening Leeds goal. Did we see maybe Leeds' nerves? They really had not got going before taking the lead after that Solbauer own goal.
Well, I think it's a combination of things, to be honest with you, Dan. The biggest problem, obviously, Phillips is out. White's gone into that central midfield position, not comfortable really in there. And I think that Barnsley have got right up against Leeds. They've got the tactics right, and they've made it difficult for them, and they've forced the error, and there's a little bit of uncertainty in the play. But obviously the goals settle the nerves for Leeds, and they look more like themselves now. Let's
talk the two big Barnsley chances then. After 10 minutes, Jacob Brown, good work from the acute angle, just drives it across the face of goal. It's kind of a half cross, half shot. We talked about Barnsley being bold and brave, and especially opening 20-25 minutes, they were exactly that, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I mean, it's great play, to be fair, by Jacob Brown. Good spot, gets on the ball. But I'm looking at Connor Chaplin and Corley Woodrow. You've got a buster gut to get in that 6-yard box to side foot that ball in the back of the net, and they were on the edge of the box. You know, they're the chances that get your noses in front.
Both you and Dance were impressed with the Barnsley press, weren't you? Impressed by the Barnsley? Yeah, I got that right. Yeah. Mads Andersen should score with the header, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great ball in. Fantastic cross, to be fair. You know, and it drops right where he needs it to drop, to be fair. Mads Andersen, he's brave, he goes in there, times his run really, really well, but he's glancing at it. You know, he needs to be steering that ball onto the target.
And the other thing, Dan, there's been enough defensive changes at the back for Leeds to make your head spin. You know, whether it's been Ayling, Berardi, Cooper, Dallas, it's been, play where you like, fellas, at the back for Leeds in this first half. It's been really hard to keep up. I don't know whether Bielsa's just overcomplicating things for, overcomplicating sake. I don't really understand the method behind this constant switcheroo that's going on.
Because I know Marcelo Bielsa, more than anything else, Neil, was screaming for urgency from that back four. Can we get the ball out from the back far, far quicker? And I was noticing as that first half was proceeding, Reid, as you've picked out, getting some luck down the left-hand side, getting at Barnsley's right-hand flank, and they were starting to cause more problems as we edged into half-time.
Yeah, they were. I mean, what's happening is, both full-backs are slightly in advance of both centre-backs, and there's that little pocket of space down the sides of the centre-backs that's a problem for Barnsley. Jack Harrison in particular has got down the side of Kylian Ludwig, must be 8 times now, and his delivery has been really, really good. Something that's been questioned at times in the past, but today it's been spot on. Leeds could have had more opportunities from that, and they need to tighten things up a little bit at the back. Barnsley.
I mean, they're operating almost in a 3-4-3, but the wide guys, if they can't get back and do the defensive work, that's got to be a priority, hasn't it?
Well, I just think that the starting positions, they're in advance too quickly, and I think that it's a problem for him. And what's happening is Leeds are aware of that now. They've got down the sides, particularly for the goal. The goals come from it. It's a ball down the side of Mads Andersen. Bamford gets onto it really quick, and his tenacity gets the ball across the box, and it's turned into their own goal. But it's a problem for Barnsley. It's not just the goal; it's happened a number of times.
Boys, thank you very much. Back with Neil Redfern, our summariser at Ellen Road, alongside Ian Dante here on your home of the EFL Talk Sport 2. Leeds in front, but the job's certainly not done yet. Half-time, Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0.
EFL Live on Talk Sport 2.
The Premier League is bigger and better than ever. Don't miss any of this season's action on TalkSport 2 with the Now TV Sky Sports Pass. Saturday is game day, featuring TalkSport's most full-on, football-dedicated schedule ever. From all the build-up to live commentary and post-match reaction, it's your non-stop one-shop Premier League destination. Game day live on TalkSport 2 with the Now TV Sky Sports Pass. Only paid for the games that matter to you from just $9.99. Search Now TV, 18+, stream via internet, terms apply.
Tuesdays at KFC gonna get you like, wow, pow, chow, kapow, get down right now. If you know how, then take a bow, because this deal's gonna raise a brow. Get 9 pieces of original recipe chicken for an eye-popping $5.99. What the? Every Tuesday at KFC. Participating restaurants ends 18th of August 2020. Tuesdays only, subject to availability, not available online.
The incredible iPhone 11 with 4K video and all-new dual-camera system on Vodafone's Unlimited Max is now just £58 per month and £29 up front. So you can get back out there and share more of what you love with our fastest unlimited data plan at our lowest ever price. Keep connecting on the UK's best mobile data network. Ready? Vodafone.
While stocks last, 24-month plans. 25 gigabytes roam fair use terms and award verification apply. Vodafone.co.uk.
Nothing phases the Money Calm Bull because his bills are under control with Money Supermarket. Even this. The dentist, not a flicker of anxiety. Fox is making love. This laugh. He's calmer than a banana. So, be like the Money Calm Bull. Get money calm. Money Supermarket.
Philip Schofield here. Imagine you're buying a car. You've negotiated a deal to trade in your old one and you're about to sign on the dotted line. But wait a minute. Easy, Tiger. Before you agree, it's worth remembering that buying without part exchanging could get you a bigger discount on your next car. So why not check out WeBuyAnyCar.com? Good boy. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Talk Sports penalty payouts. Win a game-changing grand in your hand. Register to play by texting the word WIN to 85544. 18+, text costs £1.50 plus standard network rate. This summer, Amazon delivers you the Premier League.
This is the league we want to watch.
With 4 games, live and exclusive, and totally free. Including Sheffield United v Everton on the 20th of July. Coverage starts at 5:30 p.m.
Gets a shot away. Brilliantly taken. Sensational.
Amazon Prime Video, delivering the Premier League.
Saturday night, live FA Cup semi-final football. Arsenal versus Manchester City. Coverage from 7:30, kick-off at 7:45 on TalkSport.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app and on your smart speaker. EFL Live on TalkSport 2.
Half-time here on your home of the EFL Talk Sport 2 at Ellen Road. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. Back with Ian Danter and Neil Redfern, the former Barnsley player, former Leeds boss, our summariser in a short while. Adrian Durham on Talk Sport Drive and Hugh Rosencroft later, also on Talk Sport. We're keeping you right up to date with the 4 Premier League games happening this evening. So head over to Talk Sport for the very latest in those 4 Premier League games a little later on. Let's bring you right up to date with the latest enthralling day 1 of the second test at Old Trafford. Talk Sport 2's Guy Swindles.
It is pretty gripping, if a little bit on the slow side. England are now 153 for 3. It's taken them 63 overs to get there, but a good partnership developing now. 72 runs between Dom Sibley, 60 not out from 199 deliveries. Hasn't been fast, but it's been crucial, and it's his second successive half-century in this series. Ben Stokes, the skipper, coming out when Joe Root played a loose drive and became the third wicket to go. Caught well by Holder off the bowling of Alzari Joseph. Well, since then, Stokes has played very sensibly indeed. Came down just to knock Roston Chase out of his comfort zone with 1-6, another couple of 4s, but a 95 ball, 38 not out, certainly what his side need at the moment. So after being put in today in pretty bowler-friendly conditions, it must be said, England will be relatively pleased with their position, 153 for 3.
And quickly, Guy, for Sibley, in, bat on, young man.
Absolutely, and he's done it before. We saw him 143 in, I think, the second test in South Africa, so we know he can keep going and going and going. And with the rest, as England bat down to number 11, if he just keeps one end going, well, that would be exactly what his side required. So I'm absolutely right, Dan. Just don't stop.
Guy, thank you. Golf legend Tiger Woods makes his return to the PGA Tour today. The 15-time major winner hasn't played since February due to a combination of back problems and the ongoing coronavirus pandemic.
Oh, it feels great to be back.
Many doubted we'd ever see it, and here it is. The return to glory.
22 years on from the first green jacket comes the 5th.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow! In your life have you seen anything like that?
Look at that finish. This is Tiger the artist.
Wow! What a shot!
Just ricochets back toward the hole. Tap in for Tiger. We thought we'd never see it, and I don't believe he thought either. Tour championship winner, Tiger Woods, a winner again, number 80.
Yeah, Tiger is back. He's got some good company this evening as well. Tees off 6:15 alongside world number 1 Rory McIlroy and the multi-major winner Brooks Koepka as well. Live golf this evening, the Memorial Tournament live from 7 p.m. tonight right here on TalkSport 2, and we'll be following the tournament throughout the weekend right here on TalkSport 2 as well. Russ Hargreaves, your host, tonight from 7. Before then, the second half at Ellen Road. Leeds in front, but in a fight.
Woodrow slips the ball into Brown inside the area, angles tight, puts it across the face of goal and nobody to touch it home. I don't know whether Jacob Brown was going for goal. Here comes the corner from Stiles. Brilliant delivery, it's headed wide by Anderson, diving in 6 yards out. He got ahead of his man Cooper, but Mads Anderson just couldn't direct the header the right side of the post for Barnsley. But here's Bamford at the other end. He's got ahead of Anderson, tries to square it across the penalty area. Oh, it's touched into his own net for an own goal by Solbauer. Patrick Bamford takes the acclaim, and Leeds United, having very nearly gone behind at one end, go up the other end, and Bamford's industry creates the opener.
Superb play by Bamford, I have to say.
But Leeds in the ascendancy at half-time. It is Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0.
Well, certainly Leeds United in front, most importantly in front at Ellen Road here on your home of the EFL. But Neil Redfern, our match summariser, in place in West Yorkshire. Issues to deal with, things to contend with. Marcelo Bielsa will feel his side must improve second half.
Yeah, he will. I mean, they're in a game. There's no two ways about it. They've had the better chances before the goal, Barnsley. Their heads haven't dropped. They've kept going. They're still in there. And you can see the anxiety on the Leeds bench. You know, you can see that they know that it's not all there for Leeds, that they're not playing as well as they can do. They need to play better than this. They are better than this, we know that. But we've got to give a lot of credit to Barnsley.
I've not watched every minute of Leeds since the restart. Dance, you've seen some of Leeds since the restart. I've not seen Bielsa like that though.
No,
with his coaching stuff, surrounded, absolutely furious at times at their side.
Well, I think this goes back to the overcomplication of how the back four have switched around all the time. I don't think some of those players genuinely understand what they're meant to be doing from 1 minute to the next.
If Mr. Redfern can't work it out, I've got to say, I mean, boys, it's difficult, isn't it? The switchings of shape, and that is that's a very fluent, free-moving front three for Barnsley that will pick up areas that defenders don't want to go in.
Yeah, they are going to make a change, Barnsley, at the start of this second half. Luke Thomas is going to be coming on. He's stripped and ready to make an early switch. I think it's Apo Halmet that's been withdrawn. Indeed it is, Dan, so they're making a change. Luke Thomas on, Apo Halmet off.
Barnsley in this game in West Yorkshire, a massive momentous night at Ellen Road, a job to complete for Leeds. Then they wait and see how West Brom and Brentford get on over the next 48 hours or so. The Championship, the league that carries on giving, and we don't miss a beat right here on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. How will the second half go? Let's find out with Neil Redfern, but first, Ian Danton.
Thanks, Dan. Not only a change for Barnsley, but a change for Leeds too, and this is exactly the change that Bielsa made when Leeds were 1-0 up against Stoke a couple of games ago and ended up 5-0 winners. Pablo Hernandez is on and Tyler Roberts is taken off. It's the exact same change he made against the Potters. So Luke Thomas on for Halmet and Hernandez on for Tyler Roberts. Neil Redfern, your reaction to those changes?
Yeah, I'm surprised of Halmet going off, to be honest with you. I think unless he's injured, he's actually showed it up a little bit in midfield for them. I can understand Hernandez going on without a doubt. For me, he's their talisman, Leeds United's talisman. He's such a quality player, and this is the type of game that he'll grab hold of by the scruff of the neck.
So the revamped lineups were underway at the start of the second half. Luke Thomas now picking up the ball for Barnsley, formerly of Derby and Coventry. Threads the ball down the left-hand side of the box for Callum Styles. Styles pulls the ball back to Chaplin. Here's Luke Thomas again, having just been introduced into the game. Little 1-2 between Ludwig and Woodrow. Ludwig down the right-hand side of the box, drives it towards goal. Might break for Thomas at the edge of the area. Thomas with a drive, and that's a decent save down low to his left by Meslier as Barnsley show their intent right at the start of the second half. It's still 1-0 Leeds.
Yeah, great introduction by Thomas. Picked the ball up and carried it, full half length of the pitch. Pablo Hernandez chasing him, couldn't really keep with him. Built a little bit of play around the box and ended up where the ball comes back to him. It's a good strike, and he does well, Ilan Meslier, a drop on it.
So as Barnsley send the ball back into their own half, Costa's gone down injured off the field and we get some treatment. Gives me a chance to run you through the revamped lineups. Meslier, the Leeds goalkeeper, who just made that save. Ayling, Berardi, Cooper and Dallas are the back four, but they can be in any order you like. Ben White in front of that back four, and then Costa, Hernandez, Click and Harrison in midfield behind Bamford up front. For Barnsley, Walton is the keeper. Ludwig, Solbauer, Anderson and Williams in the back four. It's now Thomas, Mowat and Styles in midfield. Woodrow, Brown and Chaplin up front. And Helder Costa, he's over the touchline on the east stand side, on the far side of the field from us, Neil Redfern, flat on his back, and he's about to get some treatment. He's off the field, so play can notionally continue without him, but the referee's standing over him. I didn't see what it was that led him to be prostrate on the floor there.
Yeah, I mean, he was challenged, to be fair, and it's almost like he fell awkward. He sort of twisted as he fell, and he landed on his side as such, by the scruff of the neck. He doesn't look too well at the moment.
So Leeds temporarily down to 10. They have the free kick, fired in by Ayling, headed out by Woodrow, back into the area by Berardi, and Walton had to claim it right at the angle of post and bar. Awkward for the goalkeeper, but he did well for Barnsley. 1-0 Leeds. Here's Killian Ludwig back for Michael Solbauer, whose unfortunate own goal for the Tykes still separates the side. Still Costa flat on his back receiving treatment directly opposite our commentary position in the John Charles main stand. So Barnsley have a man advantage for the moment. Jordan Williams inside left channel, further out to the left, and Callum Styles, who had a busy first half. Thomas, the substitute, works into the edge of the area, goes back to Callum Styles. Styles lost the ball into the box over the head of Jacob Brown, who was being marshalled well by Liam Cooper, and a hurried clearance by Leeds, but it's going to come back to Alex Mowat for Barnsley, who tried to clip it down the right for Ludovic, but it was overhit. And clearly Marcelo Bielsa has decided that Costa will not be fit enough to continue, because Gianni Alioski is getting some final instructions down beneath us, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, and I think this will be a good replacement, to be honest with you. I mean, he's got the heart for the fight, Alioski. We've seen that in previous games. Really gingerly getting to his feet, to be fair, Costa.
I've just seen a replay. It was just a shoulder challenge from a Barnsley player. Sent him over the touchline. Nothing particularly spiky in the challenge, but down he went.
I can only think it's how he fell, Dance, to be honest with you. He seemed to fall a little bit awkward, that's all I'll say. But
well, Gianni Alioski, the man that can play pretty much anywhere for Leeds United, and has. He's on to replace Helder Costa, and we're back to 11 against 11. But here's Callum Styles for Barnsley, darting through to the edge of the area. It breaks for Cauley Woodrow, tried an instant snapshot from the corner of the D, but got right underneath it, and he goes out over the far side, and they're now taking a stretcher over to the far side of the field, where Costa's still lying completely flat on his back, getting treatment from two of the Leeds physio staff. Hopefully he's not too seriously hurt, but obviously nowhere near fit enough to continue. Alioski's come on to replace him, and he's playing in that right hand side. But here's Connor Chaplin into the area for Barnsley, drives the ball goalwards, and it's only just the wrong side of the post for Connor Chaplin, and he puts his hands to his face and then sends up a little prayer. He can't believe that's not bulged the back of the net and brought Barnsley level.
That's two great chances, you know, one in the first half, Mads Anderson for the header, and this one for Chaplin, just brilliant burst pack down the side onto his left foot, and he's inches wide of the far post. But started this second half superb, Barnsley.
Leeds attacking the Revie end away to our left in this second period. Still bright sunshine in West Yorkshire at Ellen Road, and the shade from the stand we're sitting in hanging further over the pitch. Not quite halfway though. Now Luke Ayling under pressure from Callum Styles. He's lost possession. Styles running towards the edge of the area, has a drive, and he's put it wide now for Barnsley. Two chances within a minute for Barnsley to draw level, and both shots, first from Chaplin and then from Styles, have been dragged wide of the post. 1-0 Leeds.
Yeah, good chances. Don't know what Ayling's doing there. Running out, he's trying to put it away. There's three red shirts round him. He's got just knocked the ball off. He ends up where he slips, and then he's looking for a foul. It's not a foul. He's got Fanning on the ball. He needs to move the ball quicker, and it's a great chance, to be fair. They're racking up the chances here, Barnes. They need to put one of these in.
But the nerves are seemingly there for Leeds United in these early stages of the second half. We played 5 minutes of the restart. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. It remains on TalkSport 2, and the Barnsley bench full of encouragement for the Tykes, who have started this second half like they are desperate to get themselves level as early as possible. Woodrow kicks the ball away from Hernandez. Luke Thomas, who's looked very busy since he came on at half-time for Apo Holme. He loses out this time on this near touchline to Alioski, who's playing down the left-hand side and forces Solbauer to come across and put it out of play. And just an update on Helder Costa. He's now been placed on the stretcher, and he's now been walked around behind the goal. It might be a dislocated shoulder or something like that, perhaps, for Costa. We'll have to wait for an update later on in the evening.
He definitely fell funny. I think that was a problem, Dance.
Well, Hernandez runs out of room on this near touchline.
Just a little bit of craft seconds earlier, Hernandez, where he settled himself down, just settled these down, shifted the ball and played a great little ball down the line with his left foot. They're going to need that from Pablo Hernandez this half.
Well, Alioski's now playing on the left-hand side of the Leeds midfield. Harrison switched to the right, so even more positional changes from Leeds United. Still 1-0 they lead though, but Meslier's clearance doesn't reach halfway. Styles wins it back for Barnsley. Then Chaplin runs into trouble in the shape of Pablo Hernandez, who scored that dramatic late winner at Swansea on Sunday. Now here's Stuart Dallas darting through the midfield, out to the left-hand side, and Alioski. Chance for a cross, whip deep to the far post. Goes beyond everyone to Hernandez, just outside the area, right-hand side. Hernandez tries to play a 1-2 with Click at the edge of the area, but that's watched behind by Anderson on the far side, and it's a goal kick. And Costa, he's got his legs in it strapped up, actually. I don't know whether it's he's
holding his side there.
Holding his side.
Dance, yeah, I think.
But he's barely moving, not even sitting up on the stretcher, still flat on his back looking to the sky. That could be his season over. And of course that's what happened with Calvin Phillips after Sunday's win at Swansea. He won't participate any further in the season, so we'll see what the verdict is on that later. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. Barnsley coming forward with Luke Thomas. Rides the challenge of Harrison. Plays the ball in field to Callum Stiles. Stiles tried to take it around Ben White, but White just stuck his chest out and won the ball. And now Click brings the ball away for Leeds United. Lovely ball in field to Hernandez. Hernandez looks to play Bamford away. Bamford is offside. He was ahead of Ludwig. He was pretty much in line with our commentary position when the ball was played by Hernandez. Not by much, Neil Redfern, but he was offside. 1-0 Leeds.
Yeah, they actually did quite well, the two centre-backs there. They just stepped up at the last minute. And when the ball was played, it was offside, Bamford. Just starting to have a growing influence now, Hernandez. Just 1 or 2 little touches with the ball. That's a great pass through for Bamford. Just got to time his run better.
Mads Anderson for Barnsley. Good ball into the feet of Connor Chaplin, who lays it off for Luke Thomas. Back for Chaplin once more. And now Michael Solbauer strides into the Leeds half. Tried to flick it out wide for Ludwig, who got there eventually and did well to win a throw off Click. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. Nearly 10 minutes gone in the second half on TalkSport 2. And whilst it's only 1-0, Barnsley are still in the game. Desperate, of course, to get themselves out of the bottom 3. Leeds aren't the only ones in desperate need of points here at Ellen Road.
Yeah, well, you can't say they haven't had the chances, to be honest with you, Barnsley. They've fashioned some really, really good quality chances. Leeds uncharacteristically loose at the back.
Chaplin and Stiles going close in these early stages of the second half. Corley Woodrow on the right for Barnsley, tried to play the ball through the legs of Gaetano Berardi, but he bought that nutmeg and won it back for Leeds. Threads the ball down the left-hand side, looking for Alioski. What a brilliant header down for Bamford, but Bamford showed too much of that ball to Solbauer. First time ball downfield, looks for Hernandez, who tried to just flick it around Jordan Williams and run onto it. Lovely idea, didn't quite come off for Hernandez. And Jack Walton, the young keeper for Barnsley, will send the ball downfield, but it's put out of play. And Jacob Brown's adjudged to have fouled Ben White, actually. And Leeds will have a free kick. And they lead by 1-0 here on your home of the EFL.
It's almost like Stuart Dallas's, that central one now. Maybe the one that's disciplined and holding, giving Hernandez a little bit of freedom. They definitely need to protect in front of the back 4, Leeds, because...
You're right, it's Ayling, White, Cooper, Berardi.
Yeah.
From right to left. And Dallas holding in front of the back 4. As I said in the first half, play where you like, fellas. Ball sent into the middle of the Barnsley half, looking for Bamford, but it was well watched all the way by Jordan Williams. And now Corley Woodrow, caught by Berardi, but Luke Thomas runs onto the loose ball. He's got plenty of space to gallop into, gets to the edge of the D, plays it down the left-hand side of the box, looking for Chaplin, and Harrison got back to get a foot in. Why Thomas didn't go for goal, I don't know, but Leeds are on the counter-attack here with Gianni Alioski. Bamford going through the middle. Alioski looking to isolate Solbauer, plays a lovely ball to Hernandez, and Hernandez sees the ball taken off his toe by Callum Stiles, who'll clear for Barnsley up to halfway. Well, another chance for Barnsley. Luke Thomas had the freedom of Ellen Road there to gallop towards the edge of the area, Neil Redfern.
Well, he just opened up the Leeds back 4. I don't know why he didn't shoot. So open for him to get his shot off. Just trying to be too intricate, trying to play the ball into the box. Need to be popping away there, definitely.
And a foul for a push on Callum Stiles by Harrison as he released the ball, gives Barnsley a free kick. Only Middlesbrough with 45 goals have scored less than Barnsley with 46. And the missed chances they've had during this game, Neil Redfern, bears that stat out.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's Jacob Brown for the Tykes, lobbing the ball in field, but it's ahead of Luke Thomas and one back by Ayling. Now Dallas playing in front of the back 4 now, the Northern Irishman. Harrison Forced to go back to Ayling. Now Ben White back in his more familiar right-sided centre-half role. Meslier hits a diagonal ball, the goalkeeper, up to halfway, but Ludovic wins the header in front of Alioski. Click nods it up in the air. Berardi calmly turns away from Woodrow and works it back to his keeper. Meslier now looks to the right-hand side, but there was nobody there in a white Leeds shirt. Jordan Williams got all the time in the world to bring that down. Styles back for Mads Andersen. Anderson running through the centre circle, now threads it forward to Chaplin, tried to lay it off for Thomas. The ball's broken for Alex Mowat. Mowat, the former Leeds man, flicks it out neatly to the left, and Callum Styles trying to turn away from Harrison, but slipped and fell as he tried to check, and Harrison can bring the ball away for Leeds United, who are in front by a 1-0. Anderson steps in front of Patrick Bamford, but Bamford really doesn't give anything up as a lost cause. We've seen that already with the cross that ended up with the own goal, and he's ended up winning Leeds a throw on that far side. 1-0.
Yeah, we're just looking at Leeds now, Dan. You just need to keep, they're winning 1-0. They know they're going to get more chances because Barnsley are going to get more and more desperate. They're going to throw bodies forward. They just need to keep the shape.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're playing off the cuff, if you like, rotating round, and even at the back they're rotating round, but it's causing them a problem because they've got in front of goal half a dozen times. If they could finish Barnsley, they'd be three or four up here.
There's going to be a change. Pascal Struijk, the young defender, is going to be on shortly for Leeds United. Find out who for in just a moment, because the ball's gone out of play for a Leeds throw on the far side. And Struijk's been on the fringes of the first team, made his debut in December as a substitute against Hull City, but only 7 minutes in 2 appearances, and none since December. Came through the Ajax Youth Academy, but he's been given his chance here by Marcelo Bielsa. And he's going to have a good half an hour out there, Neil Redfern, as he comes on for Jack Harrison. So an extra defender going on. Marcelo Bielsa may well be changing shape here. What we have, we hold, seems to be the message.
Yeah, I think it's Dallas that's going out to that right-hand side now, and it's Struijk's going to come in and take that position that Dallas has occupied centrally. I think that position, that central position in front of the back four, is so important. We talked about Calvin Phillips and the loss, and obviously Ben White going in there didn't really work today. Although Leeds find themselves 1-0 up, it's quite fortunate, to be honest with you. It's an own goal, and Barnsley have had the better of the play and the better of the chances.
So we played exactly an hour now on TalkSport 2. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. No goals in either of the 6 o'clock kickoffs yet in the Premier League, which is Everton, Villa and Leicester, Sheffield United. Ludovic with a throw for the Tykes, just shy of the halfway line, looking for Jacob Brown, but Liam Cooper got the better of him. Now Bamford again, looking strong down the left-hand side, gets ahead of Solbauer, thinks about putting the cross in, just dummied to cross and somehow kept possession and kept the ball in. A back heel intended for Alioski, instead goes infield, and Mowat and Anderson between them will clear. Chaplin for Barnsley, having to run back into his own half. Mowat picks the ball up and runs towards the halfway line, feeds it out left for Callum Styles, chance for him to run at Dallas. Back in field it goes for Mowat, but it just goes ahead of Mowat, and Struijk, his first job on as a service, to put it out for a throw to Barnsley.
Yeah, it's sloppy from Styles. Give him it. He's only 5 yards away there. Mowat is running on to goal. Give him the ball. He's played it too far in front of him. He does well there, Struijk, to recover. He's got a really important job today, I'll tell you, Struijk, because they're getting overrun in midfield, Leeds.
So for only less than 10 minutes of Championship football this season before today, it's a big task he has on his hands. That's surely a corner that's been won by Barnsley on the far side of the field. Indeed it is. First corner of the second half for the Tykes, and only their second of the game at the Norman Hunter stand end away to our right. 1-0 to Leeds. 61 minutes played on TalkSport 2. Plenty of Barnsley players at the edge of the area, barely anybody inside the 6-yard box for this out-swinging left-footed delivery from Styles into the near post, drilled like the one earlier in the half that Anderson headed just wide, but this time Bamford the first defender to get it clear. Stropped on halfway for Jordan Williams, who tries to launch it down the inside left channel, but that's way overhit, and will go behind for a goal kick to Leeds United. And Connor Chaplin's gone to retrieve the loose ball, even though a fresh disinfected ball's already been got by Ilan Meslier.
Yeah, just going back to that ball there, there's a simple pass on, there's a simple diagonal pass on, and you can't help but think that for all the good stuff that Barnsley have done in this game, there's little bits of sloppy stuff that makes you realise where they are.
They've just won the ball back again. Callum Styles plays the ball in field to Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas gets to the edge of the area, slips it down the left-hand side of the box. Chaplin hits the ball in and it ricochets off two Leeds players, Struijk and Ayling, and behind for another corner to bottom side Barnsley. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0.
Well, they need to take advantage of these set plays, Dance, because Leeds are... I've never seen Leeds all over the shop like this at the back. They're really struggling. I think the changes have unsettled them, if you like. It's Barnsley that's in the ascendancy, but they need to cash in.
Another corner at the south stand end, the Norman Hunter stand, away to our right for Barnsley. Again, it's drilled in by Callum Styles, and again Bamford's there at the near post with the first clearance, and he was being fouled as well. He's holding his left hip. I think he was barged into, and referee Jared Gillett gives the free kick to Leeds United, who still have that 1-goal lead given to them by the Solbauer own goal that went in just before the half hour here at Ellen Road. We've now played 63.5 minutes. Don't forget, Huddersfield against West Bromwich Albion is our EFL commentary tomorrow night. The show starts at 5 with Dan Windle, all the latest EFL news. Who knows, we might hear something about Sheffield Wednesday before the week's out. That was supposed to be a verdict we were due to hear from about the FFP case against the Owls. Certainly nothing been heard today. Sheffield Wednesday are in action on Saturday afternoon on TalkSport 2 at Fulham. That's our 3 o'clock kickoff from Craven Cottage as part of game day. 1-0 to Leeds. Barnsley have it inside the Leeds half, out the left hand side with Alex Mowat. Styles just drifts inside Dallas, who is pulling him back. Free kick to Barnsley out the left hand side, midway point of the Leeds United half, and a chance to load the box here for the Tykes, but they don't really have much of a height advantage, although the two centre halves, Anderson and Solbauer, are coming up from the back.
Yeah, they've been in this position quite a few times this half. Good positions. You know, Mowat's got real quality with his left foot.
The former Leeds man, Alex Mowat, over this free kick, teased into about 6 yards out, headed goalwards by Solbauer and clutched under his crossbar by Meslier. Stays 1-0 to Leeds.
That's another chance. That's another chance, Dance. You know, Ayling's not really got the right side of him. It's a free header for Solbauer, just holds Ayling off. Got to be careful here, Leeds.
That's the voice of former Barnsley player and Leeds manager Neil Redfern, alongside me, Ian Danter, here at Ellen Road on TalkSport 2. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. Styles tries to drift infield, but he had the ball taken off his toe by Dallas. What a ball by Struijk to set Alioski away. Alioski across the face of goal. Bamford puts it wide. Great save by Walton. Got a touch to put it behind for a corner kick. Such a sweeping move from Leeds United. Nearly brought them a second, but for a save from Walton from Bamford's first time effort. Corner kick, 1-0.
Yeah, that's the best move of the game, Dance, I have to say. It's a great ball by Struijk inside the fullback to find Alioski, and he plays it first time to pick out Bamford in the middle, and he's so unlucky, the big centre forward. It's a fantastic save by Walton. Brilliant by Leeds.
But it is a corner to Leeds at the Revy end. Hernandez to take it, right-footed out swinger onto the 6-yard line. Brown went up and missed his head, and he's landed awkwardly inside the penalty area, and that's why the referee blows his whistle so that he can get treatment. He's going to be okay, I think. In fact, the goalkeeper Jack Walton signalling to the bench, don't bother, as Gianni Alioski hits the ball so hard it clatters into one of those cardboard cutouts behind the goal and bends its head right back. You wouldn't want to be that cardboard fan who's paid his 25 quid to have it completely disintegrated. And now that Brown's back on his feet, that gives the drinks break an opportunity to come in with a quarter of the game to go. It's 1-0 here. They're on TalkSport 2 to Leeds United, and once we're done here, TalkSport 2 is bringing you live PGA Tour golf from 7 o'clock. Tiger Woods back in action along with Rory McIlroy and multi-major winner Brooks Koepka. They're your featured group this evening for the Memorial Tournament. So if you love your golf, make sure you stay with us once we're done here in West Yorkshire. Live golf from the PGA Tour at 7 p.m. here on your home of the EFL, where the big games just keep on coming. Huddersfield, West Brom tomorrow night, Brentford, Stoke on Saturday lunchtime, Fulham, Sheffield Wednesday, and Leeds again on Sunday at Derby County.
Yeah, just looking at some of the stats here, Dance. 5 shots on target, Leeds. 5 shots total, sorry, Leeds. Barnsley 9, 2 on target, one for Leeds, obviously the one that counts. Put them 1-0 up, 6 off target. The finishing is letting them down a little bit, Barnsley.
Yeah. They've been in the bottom 3 since they lost to Leeds in September, Barnsley. There ever since, whilst Leeds, they've not been out of the top 2 since mid-November and never been lower than 5th all season.
But to be honest with you, they've never looked like dropping out of the top 2 neither. They've been outstanding.
Well, even when they had their blip just after Christmas, others couldn't catch them. Although Brentford, of course, are coming with this extraordinary run of straight victories. But at the moment, maybe that's one for West Brom to be more concerned about than Leeds United. West Brom at Huddersfield tomorrow night. Baggies drop points there, then Brentford have got so much incentive to take on Stoke on Saturday afternoon. And you're going to be working for TalkSport up at Middlesbrough on Saturday afternoon, aren't you, Neil?
Yeah, around the grounds, yeah. Cardiff. That'd be interesting. Neil Warnock's old club.
And Middlesbrough not quite safe yet. Cardiff consolidated their 6th spot. You heard it on TalkSport 2 in the week with their vital win.
He's done a great job, to be fair, Neil Harris.
Neil Harris, he has. Leeds United, a goal up. The drinks break is done and dusted. Diagonal ball from Hernandez, trying to pick out Alioski, but Kilian Ludovic just strained and stretched as he jumped in the air and nodded out a play for a Leeds United throw. So a quarter of the game left. Leeds in front by a 1-0. But as you just heard from Neil Redfern, the chance count goes very much in Barnsley's favour. But here's Click looking for Bamford inside the area. Important sliding challenge. First from Anderson, and then Solbauer put it behind for a corner kick to Leeds, 1-0.
Yeah, just high-fiving one of the 2 centre-backs. Great run by Bamford. He's impressed me today, Dance. He just works so hard for the team. You know, whether he's defending or whether he's attacking.
Short corner routine from Leeds United. Hernandez receives it back from Click. In slides Luke Thomas and puts it out of play for a throw. Throw-in taken quickly by Hernandez for Alioski. Fires it across the face of goal, but too hard for Bamford or any Leeds player to get anything on that, and it drifts out on the far side of the field for a Barnsley throw. 1-0 to Leeds United.
Yeah, they've just lost a little bit of something on this left-hand side, Leeds, with Harrison going off. Really impressed me first half. I thought it was brilliant. Doesn't look as effective, Alioski at the moment.
A lot of changing of positions during the game from Leeds United. They appear to have settled a bit more despite the substitutions. The ball goes back to goalkeeper Ilham Meslier. Leicester lead Sheffield United in the 6 o'clock Premier League game in the King Power. Perez on 29 minutes. Puts the Foxes in front, desperate to hang on to that Champions League spot under pressure from Manchester United, of course. 1-0 is the scoreline here too to Leeds United with 20 minutes to play at Ellen Road. Barnsley have a throw, and again Bielsa and all his coaching staff are right at the edge of their technical area en masse, barking and shouting out instructions to all and sundry, whilst Gerhard Struber on his Jack Jones on comparison at the edge of his technical area. Barnsley want a free kick here, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, it's almost ironic. It's Barnsley bench is far more calmer. They've played well second half, played well first half, to be fair, but they've really took the game to Leeds. They just haven't got going, Leeds.
But Leeds are in front, and that's what the record books will show. Here's the free kick from Mowat towards the edge of the penalty area, headed up into the sky by Liam Cooper. Drops for Luke Thomas. Now it's clipped into the area. Might drop for Connor Chaplin on the volley, but Struijk gets it away for Leeds United, but only as far as Jordan Williams. Williams into the centre of the Leeds half. Chaplin tries to play a 1-2, gets into the area, but a heavy touch did allow a Leeds player to come across and put it out of play for a throw. It was Liam Cooper coming across, but Barnsley knocking on the door again with a throw on the far side. 1-0 Leeds.
Yeah, did brilliant there, Cooper. He's been outstanding this season for Leeds. Read the play really, really well there to clear.
Chaplin's there for a short throw from Callum Starks, but he's gone to the edge of the area, Mads Andersen. Now he gives it back to Chaplin, level with the edge of the area, left-hand side, and he wins a corner off Luke Ayling, and Mowatt's going across to take this, so a slightly different delivery to come from Barnsley as they seek an equaliser here at Ellen Road with 18 minutes to play.
Well, they'll never play in a game and create as many chances and not score, Barnsley. It's been all one-way traffic. Evenly matched first half, second half, it's just been in the Leeds' half.
So Mowat with this left wing corner at the Norman Hunter end for Barnsley. Lofted to the 6-yard line. Might drop it for Cauley Woodrow. Brilliant block from Cooper and then hooked away from the edge of the area. Fantastic defending again from Leeds United. It looked for all the world that Cauley Woodrow was going to pull the trigger, and the Leeds skipper is there again, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, brilliant. Spotted the danger, got his body across and put himself on the line to block. But the Leeds technical area is really anxious at this moment in time. They're just not at it, Leeds.
Ayling goes back to his keeper, Meslier, takes a touch. Jacob Brown dashes across to try and close him down. Got the clearance downfield in the end, Meslier, but comes back to the red shirts of Barnsley. Ludovic hits the ball into the Leeds half. It's half cleared by Berardi, but picked up by Mads Andersen for the Tykes. Slips a neat ball for Ludwig, who can run onto this down the right-hand touchline. Early cross into the area. Woodrow's unmarked, drives it goalwards and tipped over the bar. I think that was by Meslier. It was. He couldn't be sure whether that was going over or not. And so it's another Barnsley corner and another chance that puts Leeds on edge, even though they're leading by a goal to nil.
It was absolutely unmarked there, Cauley Woodrow, when he received that. Yeah, he had his back to play. If he'd have had his wits about him or got on the half turn, he could have had a free shot at goal. It's a good tip.
He could have driven on a couple of yards before taking a shot.
Absolutely.
But as it is, it's a corner again at the south stand. Left-footed in-swinger from Mowat. And out comes the keeper and gets a punch ahead of his own centre-half. I think it was Berardi who he climbed over to get to the ball, Meslier. And the ball's just walloped downfield by Leeds United. Jack Walton will send it back into the Leeds half. Up go the heads. It's Berardi who heads it up to the halfway line. Anderson calmly guides it down for Solbauer. Now Jacob Brown on the right for Barnsley. Early ball into the box, just ahead of Woodrow, and it took a touch off a Leeds player and behind for another Barnsley corner. The Tykes are asking all sorts of questions here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, they're hanging on here, Leeds. They need to try and get a grip of the ball and try and have some spells of possession just to take the sting out of this Barnsley attack, because it's all Barnsley.
Barry Douglas has been sent out to warm up. In the meantime, Patrick Schmidt will be on shortly for Barnsley. Here's the corner from Mowat, deep to the far post. Chaplin tries to climb. He was never going to beat Struik in the air, but it has gone behind for another corner on the far side. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0.
Yeah, a bit of a mismatch there. He's done quite well since he's come on, Struik. He's had to be fair, because he's had some defending to do.
Here comes the cross from the left-hand side. Up go the heads. Jacob Brown couldn't connect. Luke Thomas, looking so impressive as a senior pro, tries to thread it down the left-hand side for Chaplin, but it doesn't come for him. But goes out of play, and it will be a goal kick to Leeds United. Patrick Schmidt just getting some final instructions from his coaching staff, Austrian under 21. So 1-0 Neil Redfern, 14 minutes to go. That's all that matters. Well, if it's a nervy 1-0 win, it's still a 1-0 win.
Yeah, it is, but this is as rattled as I've seen Leeds United this season, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit that they haven't performed, and you've got to give Barnsley some credit here. They've really took the game to Leeds. I think it's all the Leeds staff down here that's vocal. It's supposed to be empty, the stadiums, aren't they? There must be 15, I don't know if they're academy staff or what.
Hopefully you can hear them down beneath us, because we sit in the commentary gantry here at Ellen Road. Alioski dispossessed by Ludwig, but he hadn't kept the ball in play, even though he thought he had. And let's get an update in the cricket, the second test at Old Trafford. TalkSport 2's Guy Swindles.
Ben Stokes has just brought up his 50 off 119 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6, his first half century of the series. Dom Sibley's got his second, he's 73 not out, dropped badly though on 66 as England reach 183 for 3.
That sounds pretty good to me. It's normally 40 for 3, England, every innings. Not today. TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. We've got 13 minutes plus added time to play at Ellen Road. Leeds United going for automatic promotion. Can't secure it today, but they're a goal up on Barnsley to get within an ace of the Premier League. But Barnsley have been the better side for long periods in this game, although Leeds pressurising Barnsley into putting the ball out of play. There will be a change very shortly for the Tykes. And here it comes. Patrick Smith, as I mentioned, is coming on, and it's Jacob Brown who's being replaced for the Austrian under-21, who hasn't scored since a goal at Millwall in December.
Now's the time, eh?
Yes, you could certainly say that. Patrick Smith has been sent on with the express purpose of getting Barnsley at least back into this game, which you wouldn't begrudge them.
No, you won't. I mean, they've been the better side. There's no two ways about it. They've been poor, Leeds. I just think this will be a fantastic clean sheet for Leeds. If you can keep a clean sheet in a game like this, you know, that's real professionalism. I think Cooper's been outstanding at the back.
Well, he's made 2 important blocks in quick succession.
Yeah.
To deny.
And to be fair, since Ben White's gone back in there, they look better.
Now, Mads Anderson's going to get a yellow card from the referee here for a challenge on Matthias Klick. Is it a yellow card, or is he just going to get a stern ticking off?
It's getting told
from
off
the referee. Yeah, it's the old referee's public warning in wrestling, isn't it?
Yep.
Rather than the yellow card.
Some explaining going on here.
It is. There's an awful lot. Yeah, he's giving him chapter and verse here, the referee, but no yellow card. So put your yellow highlighter down, Dancer. You don't need it. Free kick to Leeds United with 11 minutes to go here on TalkSport 2. And Klick will just play it short to Pablo Hernandez. Out to the left-hand side, and Gaetano Berardi tries to slide it in for Klick down the left-hand side of the box, but Ludwig with an important touch. It's just launched downfield by Moet, and Connor Chaplin is in a foot race with Ben White, and Ben White will just let the ball go out over the dead ball line just for a goal kick to Leeds United. But just for a split second, you wonder whether Connor Chaplin had just got ahead of the Leeds centre-half. 1-0 Leeds.
Yeah, immaculate there, Ben White, to be fair. He read what Molt was intending. It's good movement by Chaplin. He's done that 2 or 3 occasions this second half where he's lost defenders. But he does so well, Ben White, to recover. Just eases the ball, eases the man, and lets the ball run over the line.
Meslier with the goal kick for Leeds United. The seconds tick away here at Ellen Road on TalkSport 2. Barnsley know that they've got 2 really tough fixtures to come. This is tough enough. And Jordan Williams bringing the ball forward for the Tykes, looking for Styles down the left-hand side, but the pass was under hit and picked off by Ben White. Now Klick for Leeds United. Hernandez hugging the right-hand touchline on the halfway line. Ball goes infield to Struijk. Well, Struijk looks a very calm and composed individual in possession, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, I think what you'd expect from a Bielsa player, but we haven't seen much of Pablo Hernandez this second half. He started off with 2 or 3 brilliant touches, but
he's in possession now. Right hand side, Alioski and Bamford calling for it in the area, headed away by Solbauer, straight back onto the chest of Hernandez. Just flicks it infield for Stuart Dallas. Dallas gets to the right hand corner of the penalty area, tries to dig out across, and it's gone out for a goal kick to Barnsley. But we're into the last 10 minutes of normal time here now on TalkSport 2, and Leeds United are genuinely hanging on to a 1-goal lead.
Well, to be fair, I mean, if this score finishes like this, they're up, Leeds, I would say. I just can't see anybody else catching them. But it's been a tough old struggle, I have to say, and this game's not done yet. They're making a real game of it, Barnsley. You can't help think, but if Barnsley had played like this all season, they won't be in this position.
Well, 3 teams have always got to go down, even if they play good football. Barnsley are playing good football, and Callum Styles has got away down the left-hand side, pulls it back for Connor Chaplin, leaves it for Luke Thomas. Thomas tries to get a foot in ahead of Alioski. Now it breaks right-hand side for Ludwig for Barnsley. Further on the right-hand side is Corley Woodrow, gives it back to Ludwig. Can he get to the byline? Across comes Liam Cooper, forgive me, and puts it out of play. But Barnsley are still asking questions, still pushing for an equaliser. This is not done yet for Leeds United. They're not home and hosed by any stretch of the imagination.
Magnificent there, Cooper. Great reading of the game.
Here's Ludwig's long throw for Barnsley into the near post. There's a slip by Woodrow, and he actually inadvertently brought down Cooper by slipping, and the referee gives that as a free kick. I think that's a bit unfair on Woodrow. He just completely slipped over Cooper fell over him, and that's given us a free kick. 8 minutes to go. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0.
Yeah, they've got to manage this game well now, Leeds. You know, they've got their key player out, Calvin Phillips, in midfield, missing.
Helder Costa also off injured. We don't know the extent of the injury, but it didn't look good. Could be a shoulder problem or something, but he fell awkwardly and had to go off. Alioski, who came on to replace him, is offside, and Barnsley have a free kick inside their own half of the field. So Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. As it stands then, Leeds would move on to 87 points, 5 clear of West Brom and 6 clear of Brentford, but Brentford's goal difference is very much superior, 44 to 36 in Brentford's favour. Bamford looking to get away from Solbauer, who slides in and puts it out of play for a throw. From Barnsley's point of view, they would stay bottom on 43 points, 4 points behind Charlton Athletic with 2 games to go.
Another ex-Leeds Academy player, Clark Adore, coming on.
Well, tell us about him then, Neil. You must have worked with him then.
Yeah, very talented young player. I mean, they played him as a fullback. He can play midfield, get forward. You know, if you give him the ball, he's got real quality.
So Clark Oduor is on for Jordan Williams, number 22 for number 2. And Oduor is certainly pushing forward. Styles has dropped back into a defensive role for Barnsley. 6 minutes to go. 1-0 Leeds. Here's Styles pushing forward, actually, finding Luke Thomas. Well, tell us about tries to him, ride then, the challenge of Click. Oduor gets his first involvement down the left-hand side. It's worked back infield to Alex Mowat. Laid off for Callum Styles. Oduor again. Pushes infield from the left-hand side. He's got a square ball to Mowat if he wants to use it. Mowat has it. Was he nudged off the ball by Click? No. Perfectly legitimate challenge, says the referee, and Bamford holds the ball up on halfway. And then Hernandez slides a lovely ball down the left-hand side for Johnny Alioski, who's offside in actual fact. Flag went up late against him, but it is a Barnsley free kick. 1-0 Leeds United.
How many times have Leeds broke this second half and got caught offside?
At least 3.
Yeah.
At least 3. Here's Clark Oduor inside the centre circle for Barnsley. Plays it to his right, and Luke Thomas. That's a great challenge from Striek. But credit Luke Thomas, he got the second challenge in there. Tries to get to his feet, but Striek hits it over the top. I think Bamford knew he was going to be offside, so didn't bother chasing it down. Barnsley have it again. 5 minutes to go on TalkSport 2. Leeds hanging on for this precious 3 points. 1-0 up. Long ball downfield, looking to get Schmidt inside, who's barely had a touch since coming on as a substitute, and Ayling watched the diagonal ball all the way and helped it back to his keeper.
I'm going to say, has he had a kick?
Nope. Not yet. Chested down by Anderson for Barnsley, just shy of the halfway line. Plays it along the deck for Woodrow. Good ball round the corner for Thomas. Woodrow again tries to spin away from Striek, midway point of the Leeds half. Lays it off for Mowat. Oduor's gone ahead of him. Chaplin's gone in field. Here's Callum Styles for Barnsley on the left-hand side. Tries to ease it down the left-hand side for Oduor. Out of play it goes for another Barnsley throw. Running out of time here, Barnsley.
Yeah, just going back to Thomas, he's been really impressive in the Barnsley midfield. Really energetic.
Well, good skill from Mowat on that far side of the field. Oduor 35 yards out. Not much to his right, so he goes left for Callum Styles. Styles plays a 1-2 with Chaplin. Mowat at the edge of the area, the former Leeds man. Ball's taken off his toe, but Woodrow picks it up now for Barnsley. Play compressed inside the Leeds defensive third. Here's Oduor trying to turn away from Dallas, but the ball runs in for Click, and then there's a foul on Click as he released the ball downfield, and that'll buy a few seconds for Leeds United. It'll be a free kick for them.
They look visibly tired, Leeds, I have to say. It's been a long old season. They look like they're out on their feet.
Well, the argument was that lockdown actually suited Leeds United, because if the season had merely continued without a break, then that was when Bielsa's men and Bielsa's teams down the years have often been accused of getting tired.
Is it me, or do they look shattered?
Well, they just look nervous. I think that's what they look to me. But they know it's so close.
Yeah.
They know that the Premier League is now, as things stand, within a point of happening. Oddawar for Barnsley. Can't get the ball clear. Styles can, but puts it out of play for a Leeds United throw. Less than 3 minutes of normal time to play. On TalkSport 2. Leeds 1, Barnsley 0. PGA Tour Golf to come up after this programme at 7 o'clock here on TalkSport 2. And don't forget Sports Day with Paul Coyte in the morning from 6. Fastest moving radio show for your breakfast time. All the news and views that you need. What have Barnsley got left here? Mowat. Ball flicked down the left-hand side by Anderson, who's gone to join in with the strikers up front, the tall centre-half of these last few moments, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, it's almost a makeshift back four if you like, but Ayling at right back, gone into right back now with Cooper and White centre-back and Berardi at left back. They've been outstanding, I have to say, because it's been all Barnsley.
Well, here's Connor Chaplin, left-hand side, tries to whip across in brilliant clearance. Who was there again? Liam Cooper, clearing the ball away. Captain fantastic, leading by example for Leeds United, preventing Chaplin's cross from getting into the box.
Yeah, he's been Leeds' standout player by a mile today, Cooper.
Long ball downfield intended for Stuart Dallas. Keeper gets there first, Jack Walton for Barnsley, but it just goes straight back to Pablo Hernandez. Goes back to his keeper Meslier. 90 seconds of normal time to go. Alioski heads the ball in field. Half time at the King Power. Leicester 1, Sheffield United 0. Here's Woodrow for Barnsley, trying to get themselves level as we head towards added time in the Championship. Leeds United, can they seal the deal? Bamford down the right hand side, gets away from Solbauer, brings him down. What's the referee going to say? Nothing. No foul, and it's just a goal kick.
Yeah, it's the right decision. I think Bamford's looking for it, to be honest with you. Right, you would do. You know, he's pushed it past the defender, he's got to make the challenge. He's skirting the edge of the box, if you like.
Half-time, Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Apparently no shots on target for either side.
Well.
Woof. Been a much better game here. And Barnsley have 30 seconds of normal time, plus whatever Jared Gillett wants to add on at the end. And they've had their chances. We've made note of it in commentary. Way more attempts on goal than Leeds United have managed. But as I mentioned, only Middlesbrough have scored less than Barnsley this season. And if ever you wanted a season summed up in one 90-minute spell, I guess that's what we're seeing from the Tykes today, as we go into 4 minutes of minimum added time here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, they just need to shut up shop here, Leeds, if they can.
Well, it's Leeds throw in their left-back position, hurled in by Berardi, but straight onto the chest of Oduor, who's picked it up right-hand side. Got two Leeds shirts around him. Well, Alioski took the ball off him brilliantly, but his clearance only finds Ludwig. Now Luke Thomas and Oduor again combining on the Barnsley right, slips it to the edge of the area. Mowat, was he brought down by Hernandez? Claims he was fouled, nothing doing, says the referee, and away come Leeds on the counter-attack. It's 4-on-2. Bamford striding elegantly into the Barnsley half. Alioski's gone into the area. Dallas can pull it back across. Brilliant save, Walton. Came out to the edge of the 6-yard box and denied Dallas, and Barnsley breathe again.
Yeah, they're just looking at Leeds players trying to get back now. They're out on the feet. Barnsley breaking again.
And here's Callum Styles, who's won a free kick on halfway for a foul by Pablo Hernandez, and that's the first yellow card of the game, I think, and it's gone Hernandez's way.
Yeah, professional foul really. It done the right thing, to be honest with you, from Leeds' point of view, because there's a way there, Styles. Just got to break up that momentum.
So a free kick to Barnsley, bang on halfway. Only about 2 or 3 yards in from the left-hand touchline. Leeds trying to hold a very high line, a good 10 yards ahead of the 18-yard box, as Callum Styles stands over it. Everybody by the goalkeeper forward for Barnsley, and Walton stood pretty much at the edge of the centre circle. In it comes from Styles, goes over everyone's head, and they'll just let that run behind Leeds United and eat up a few more seconds. Jamie Shackleton's going to come on for Leeds to see this game out. Yeah, Mads Anderson quickly dashes over to pick up that ball, and
I'd have had Shackleton on earlier, Dance, to be honest with you, just to give him some energy, some drive in midfield, because they look flat on the feet, Leeds. I tell you what, standout performers for Leeds today. Liam Cooper by a mile.
Yep.
Ayling ably assisted. Berardi, to be fair, doesn't get called on that often anymore, but he's been outstanding at the back. If this is a clean sheet for Leeds, this is real rearguard action for him.
Well, the sub's being subbed. Pablo Hernandez is coming off for Jamie Shackleton, and he's only just realised out on the far side of the field, Pablo Hernandez. So he's not really been as effective today as he has been in previous Leeds games, Pablo Hernandez.
I think that's credit to Barnsley, to be honest with you. He's not really been involved in it. Seems odd to sub a sub if you've only brought him on at half time. There's some strange decisions today.
Oh man alive, you're not wrong. Defensive musical chairs in the first half.
Yeah.
So Jamie Shackleton on for Pablo Hernandez, who's just been given a smack on the back of the head by Barry Douglas, as if to say, look, don't feel bad about it. But Hernandez is heading straight for the tunnel, and he's just kicked a water bottle. He is not HP, Pablo Hernandez, as he heads back down the tunnel. Leeds still in front, remember. Barnsley have only got a minute of added time left, plus whatever the referee wants to add on for the substitutions and any further hold-ups. Alioski for Leeds. Lovely ball into Jamie Shackleton, who tries to roll Solbauer, who's pulled him back. Free kick to Leeds down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Yellow card for Solbauer. And Leeds United can eat up a few more seconds with this free kick.
It's a free kick. I'm not sure it's a yellow card. Ref's been poor today, I have to say. And I don't often say that but he's been poor.
Well, Mowat at the other end was screaming for a free kick when he
was a blatant free kick. Yeah. It's been poor.
Well, Leeds United are almost there. The 4 minutes of added time have nearly elapsed, and they still haven't properly placed the ball down for the free kick yet, which now Click and Alioski are standing over. Bamford's there too, 3 of them. Nobody in the box.
Great energy from young Shackleton to win the free kick. That's the sort of thing that you needed on. That energy to just get in behind and win these sort of free kicks in this position.
Oh, the white shirts were definitely hanging heavy. And the free kick, is somebody going to take it? They're just cabbaging overtaking this free kick, and eventually they will hit it short out to the left-hand touchline. Bamford going to take it to the corner flag. It's gone out of play. It's a throw-in for Barnsley. So 4 minutes are done, and it's up to the referee how much more to add on. Leeds are almost there.
Well, this will be a great 1-0 win, to be honest with you. I think you just got to forget the performance, but the actual determination to get over the line, particularly from the defenders, has been outstanding.
Back goes Solbauer to his own dead ball line to retrieve the ball, and here goes the full-time whistle. Leeds United are so nearly there. One more point needed, and Premier League football at Ellen Road next season is assured, and they're all hugging each other in the white shirts out there. They know the job is almost done for Marcelo Bielsa, and my how they were made to work for a 1-0 win today by Barnsley, who stay bottom of the table and whose fate looks increasingly assured that they will drop back down to League One. But Leeds United are within 1 point of a return to the Premier League for the first time in 16 years. The goal came just shy of the half hour. Bamford's cross turned into his own net by Solbauer, but so many more opportunities for Barnsley to bring themselves level in the second half. Chaplin went close, Liam Cooper with 2 extraordinary interventions to keep out efforts from Tykes players late on. But Leeds are marching on ever closer to a return to England's top flight. It's finished at Ellen Road. Leeds United 1, Barnsley 0.
Dan, thank you. At the full-time whistle, a scream of relief from the captain, Liam Cooper. Sometimes it's just about getting the job done, collecting 3 points when you don't play well, when you're hanging on, and Leeds were sure hanging on in West Yorkshire for periods. I'd go as far as saying Leeds' second best most of tonight at Ellen Road. Neil Redfern, our summariser for the action. Gerhard Struber must be thinking, how are we leaving Ellen Road with nothing?
Well, you're right. I mean, they've played well today, Barnsley. I think they've been a little bit wasteful in front of goal. That's the only criticism I can label at them. But this is probably or go down as one of the best clean sheets in Leeds United's history, because they were just out of this game today. They looked dead on the feet at the end, I have to say, but a real effort. I thought Cooper was absolutely outstanding at the back, the captain.
Leeds hanging on. Cooper, a back four that were reshuffling plenty during the game, especially first half. Leeds just, for me, this evening, Neil, it often happens. The closer you get to that line, you can become shaky. They just, for me, looked unsettled this evening.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't think the changes helped, obviously, losing Calvin Phillips, because they've been settled for so long as an 11. But he had to make changes, and then changes were made during the game. Sub to sub.
Yeah.
It's doesn't help, but they've got over the line. The most important thing is the score for Leeds, at this point, 1-0. And like I said, a fantastic clean sheet to keep against a side, Barnsley, that were fighting for their lives.
On my monitor, I can see someone else hugely relieved. The Leeds owner, Andrea Radritsani. Warm embraces of those Leeds players. Victor Orta, the director of football, relieved. Everyone relieved. Now, Neil Redfern, over to you, West Brom. Over to you, Brentford.
Well, exactly. I mean, I just think Leeds are going to be so difficult to catch now. I just can't see Leeds getting nothing out of the last two games, and I think they're in a really, really good position. You could see the relief from all the staff and the players. It's been a real effort this season, and we've got to not look past that as well. They've put such a shift in all season, Leeds. And it's a tremendous effort today to get the 3 points.
A point at Derby on Sunday. Live commentary on Talk Sport will be enough for Leeds to return to the Premier League. Could get promoted before that, don't forget. Huddersfield, West Brom, 5:30 start tomorrow night here on your home of the EFL Talk Sport 2. West Brom don't win. Leeds are up. Saturday, 12:30. Stoke Brentford. Brentford don't win. Leeds are up. They are that close, Neil Redfern. You can almost taste it.
Well, you can, and I think you can sense that at full time today. They knew the magnitude of this game, and they knew what it meant to Barnsley as well. They're fighting for their lives, and they put on a performance today, Barnsley, and they've done everything but score a goal. But from Leeds' point of view, what a tremendous effort to try and get themselves over the line, and to get the 3 points today was a massive 3 points.
And a quick word, Dance, on Barnsley, who really took the game to, well, the tabletoppers, Leeds United, this evening. I wonder how Gerhard Struber is going to be able to pick his players up after getting nothing in West Yorkshire tonight, to keep them believing that they can somehow drag themselves clear still with just, 2 games to go.
2 wins, they've got to win them. And they arguably should have won tonight with the chances that they created. I'm sure, looking at the players, some of them sank onto their knees, and they gave everything, Barnsley, in this 90 minutes. Gave absolutely everything. I'm sure that none of them have left very much out there on that pitch today. So Struber's just got to somehow find a way to get through those last 2 games against Forest and Brentford. You couldn't have too tough a test at this point. But as I say, 3 teams have got to go down, Dan. And it doesn't matter how well you play, there's always going to be a 22nd, 23rd and 24th place team that gets relegated.
Well, Leeds found a way this evening. They certainly did in West Yorkshire. Dance, Neil, outstanding work as always. Thank you very much at Ellen Road tonight here on your home of the EFL. A repeat then, Huddersfield West Brom live commentary 5:30 tomorrow evening here on TalkSport 2. 5 o'clock our build-up begins. Massive game, West Brom got to win. Stoke Brentford 12:30 lunchtime game also on TalkSport 2. Brentford don't win, Leeds are promoting. That's before they play Sunday against Derby on TalkSport. Up next, live PGA golf with our host Russ Hargreaves. But just enough time for me to say Leeds on the brink after they found a way to beat Barnsley. Thanks for your company.
Here comes the corner from Stiles. Brilliant delivery. It's headed wide by Anderson. Diving in 6 yards out. He got ahead of his man Cooper, but Mads Anderson just couldn't direct the header the right side of the post for Barnsley. But here's Bamford at the other end. He's got ahead of Anderson. Tries to square it across the penalty area. Oh, it's touched into his own net for an own goal by Solbauer. Patrick Bamford takes the acclaim.
Release from the lockdown all of the Tory voting areas around the city, and frankly that just looks nasty and party political.
Judges have ruled a
with the Everton Tower just on the left lapel and a polo shirt that looks like it could do with an iron. It's a bit of a mix what Carlo Ancelotti is wearing, but his arms crossed, and Everton have played a little bit with their arms crossed, haven't they? I think it's fair to say.
It looks like Ancelotti's looking as if, like, why have I got these players? He doesn't look like he's happy
it's
with it.
It's not quite Paolo Maldini, is it?
He's not happy.
Everton will get us underway. Looks like there are no changes to either of the two sides at the start of this second half. Anthony Taylor's just counting everybody up, and it will be the Toffees that get us underway. Shooting from left to right in this second half. Blue jerseys, white shorts, white socks. Aston Villa in the famous claret and blue. So Everton have Jordan Pickford in goal. Then a back four of Coleman, Keane, Branthwaite, the substitute for Holgate, who was injured very, very early on, and Digne at left back. Then it's Iwobi, Gomez, Davis and Bernard. And then Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison are the strikers who have been running the channels diligently throughout the first 45 for Villa. Rayner's the goalkeeper. Back four, El Mohammadi, Konsa, Mings and Target. Then McGinn, Douglas Luiz and Conor Hourihane. Luiz, who you call a central midfielder, but he's been left back, right back, centre mid, centre forward and everywhere else as well. Trezeguet has actually played off the left quite a bit at times today, and Jack Grealish floating around with Mbwana Samatta up front. And Gabby, judging by his comments at half-time, thinks there's quite a lot's the matter with Samatta. A minute of this second half gone. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. And still they haven't tested that ankle of Jordan Pickford's, have they really? They've had a couple of shots from distance that haven't gone anywhere near the target. Maybe now as Grealish comes in from the left-hand side. Oof. Drags his shot, that's a chance. He's dragged it wide, and he puts his head in his hands and looks to the heavens, and he's furious with himself because that's a big opportunity for the Aston Villa captain to give his side the lead right at the start of this second period, and he's completely fluffed his lines.
That's the exact position you want Jack Grealish in. He'll be kicking himself with that. I think if he looks back at that, he would have preferred to have went the left side of Pickford. He's changed it up to go the opposite side and then come off. But that's a massive chance for Villa. They need to start taking these chances.
And that's really been the story of their season. As a sliding challenge by Davies goes unpunished because Hourihane rode it well. Picks it up, gives it to Grealish. Square ball all the way across to the far side, and El Mohammadi tearing forward with the same energy he had when he arrived at Wigan all those years ago in the Premier League. There's a ball in from the right-hand side. Bit too easy that one for Jordan Pickford, who with that trademark side swipe clears it up into the left-hand channel, asking an awful lot of Bernard, who's not the quickest. Thumb up for the idea from the tattooed Brazilian, but it's a throw into Aston Villa in the right-back position. El Mohammadi to take it. I mean, you said you played with him. I've always actually been quite a fan of his. He's got a goal in him. His crossing is rarely wayward. He gets good whip on the ball. He will run all day. He must be the perfect teammate in many ways.
Yeah, he's the perfect player for a manager to have in his squad as well, you know. And I've been calling for him to start like 5 games ago because he offers that experience. He's got a great cross on him and he can score a goal, like you said. So is
his attitude good?
Yeah,
good
his
trainer,
attitude's good, great trainer, and he works hard. So for me, you can see why he's had such a good career with loads of different managers.
Here's Samatta, left-hand side, getting calls from Dean Smith. You can hear it saying, "Wes, you've got to get in there for the cross." Here's Grealish, left side of the box, opens up onto his right foot again. Bends one, doesn't quite get that one right. Same idea as the last one, a little bit further out, different execution. But it doesn't come off for him there either. But this is a good start to the second half, a confidence-boosting start for Aston Villa. And importantly, Jack Grealish getting on the ball a lot. And higher up the field, I think it's fair to say, than he managed most of the first half.
There are positions where you want Jack Grealish in, you know. Sooner or later, if Everton keep letting him get the ball in that position, he's going to score or he's going to create a goal.
Villa are looking far more likely at the moment. What's the cross from Trezeguet like? We're held off really well by Digne. I think probably we could spare him from some of the criticism, to be fair, that we've been delivering the Everton players. At TalkSport Live, if you want to tell us your thoughts on this one. Where are the big moments going to come from? Are they going to come from one of the boots of an Aston Villa player? Short goal kick taken by Pickford. They worked it right. Now here's Calvert-Lewin, a little bit awkward, but with two claret and blue shirts around him.